Hello everyone and welcome back to Las Vegas, back to the PGT PLO Series. It is the event number 3 final table, and boy, oh boy, do we have a big one on deck today. None other than Daniel Negreanu is the chip leader with 6 players remaining. You see him there on the right side of your screen. My name is Donnie Peters. I am joined by Kevin Gerhart. We will be calling the action today. Negreanu is in line for his 11th PGT title. There you see the chip counts as things start. Presented by PokerGO. Negreanu up on top. James Chen bringing up the rear in 6th place, but James Chen deserves a special mention of his own because he has made all 3 final tables at the 2025 PGT PLO Series. Everyone is guaranteed $39,750. Up top, $182,850. Of course,
are you a member? No.
Those dollars come with PGT leaderboard points. And there are a few implications today. Negreanu can move into 7th with a win. Eric Blair, who's also at this final table, can get into 2nd place with a victory.
Hey, what are you doing Sunday?
I'm like a 14, 15 handicap, but that's
what you'll gamble.
How you doing, sir?
Gamble, but I can't play to a 14.
I'm excited to be here. I watched the last 2 final tables.
Every time I come to Vegas,
going
my handicap
from
goes down, though. Like
someone getting aces, 5 hands out of 30 was crazy. And then obviously the final table yesterday was one of the most absurd I've ever seen with the progressive bounty aspect. If you guys haven't watched those final tables, definitely go back and watch it. This will be different. There's ICM implications. We have Daniel Negreanu, Kid Poker, probably going to play his small ball strategy, especially effective when it comes to PLO tournaments. Dylan Weissman, obviously incredible at PLO and ICM situations.
Yeah,
I don't expect there to be as much action.
Going up to 18. And there's
yesterday's final table was a progressive bounty, which drove a lot of the action. Led, of course, by Jesse Lonis, who was flying out of the gates, swinging left and right. But as Kevin mentioned today, probably a little bit more subdued, but, you know, it's PLO. The chips can fly, of course. Little delay in the card graphics here to open the show, but bear with us. Things will be populated in just a few moments. Bryce Yockey is here. And there you go, card graphics right on cue.
Ask and you shall receive.
That's right. Yockey's making his 2nd final table of the series. He final tabled the first event. Probably a... Oh, hold on 1 second, because we got Dylan Weisman here going for it here. And Bryce is in there.
Yeah, Bryce with 2 pair. Weissman has 1 pair, but a double gutter and a flush draw, giving him a massive stranglehold equity-wise in this hand.
I've faded this kind of thing before.
Yeah, Yockey is in hold-on mode here.
I mean, he only has like
15 outs twice.
I have spades, too.
Oh, backdoor, yeah.
3 of them, even. I only need 1 more to make a flush.
That's not true, but okay. Don't confuse the viewers out there. Come on. Weissman 67% here to score the double up, but he's got to find something on the turn or river.
It's really close to
a jack at least.
How about a 7? How about a 7?
No.
Of spades?
No.
Of diamond?
9.
Spades.
5 of spades on the turn.
Got a straight flush draw.
How about a 7?
Now the equities flip in favor of Yockey, not by much. 54-46 here. River to come. King of hearts, and that's going to do it for Dylan Weisman. He makes a heart flush and scores the early double up. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah, much needed. Now it puts him back in territory of almost 30 big blinds to allow him to actually play some poker instead of gambling on coin flips.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dylan is one of the absolute best when it comes to the 4-card game. No secret, of course. I know he has dabbled in mixed games. He's dabbled in No Limit Hold'em plenty, but PLO is his forte. And with that early double up, certainly a force to be reckoned with, and probably something the other players really didn't want to see.
Yeah, it is impressive to see Dylan make final tables of all disciplines. We've seen him at mixed game final tables, No Limit Hold'em final tables, PLO final tables, obviously.
Yeah, it's for sure better.
This is bread and butter.
The answer
By the way, I'm still not in the chat. What's up with that?
Yeah, get.
Here, I got you. I got him.
Yeah, put him in the chat, man. Put him in the chat.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks very much.
Shit, we talked about you.
It's the least you can do after doubling through me.
He won't see the shit we talked about him already, right?
No.
Okay.
But we can talk some more shit like for the future, so he can walk into a friendly
just
environment.
Screenshot and repost.
It is fun. Like literally, just people will randomly get shade for no reason. Like I'll just be sitting there and randomly someone will just like say something to me. Like I haven't said a word in the chat in like 4 months. Blez will just come in there and talk shit like for no reason.
You're horrible.
Chen raising pot off the short stack. No ICM implications for him being the shortest stack of the remaining 6 players. Does get a much needed pickup of 250,000 to add to his
Really playing that chip
1.25
to get a
million
roll.
stack.
Fold.
Every little bit counts when
Maybe
you're
right.
short like
Well,
Chen
see what I
is.
did when I stepped out.
Yeah.
Chen opened the series with a 3rd place in the first event, then he got 5th in the second event. And here,
really.
we'll see where he finishes in this one.
It's a
But
fair turn.
very, very good start to the series for him. If he gets 4th,
So the earlier one.
then he'll move into at
I
least a
opened button
tie
wrong
for
with
first
three
place
bets
on
and
the
I
series
call,
leaderboard.
flop
If he
comes
gets
up,
3rd or better, he'll
king,
likely
queen,
take
four or
over
something,
the top
have ace
spot
king,
on the series
and he
leaderboard. So
jams, and he just
keep
has like
that in
ace
mind.
jack 10-9 with nut diamonds. That's the one I held on.
That's a hard one.
I mean, I was in worse shape here.
Very close. The ace block.
I don't
shout
think
out to
so.
everyone who is
Yeah,
watching
you
on
get a flush draw.
PokerGo.com
Yeah, you
and
don't
on
have to
YouTube or wherever else
You
you're
have a double
tuning in
gutter,
from.
Higher pair outs.
I see Snake Eyes, Kevmo, TT Take, Flamingo Montoya on the PokerGo chat. On the YouTube chat, please, as always, hit that like button early on. I mean, we got Daniel Negreanu at the final table, so I got to set the bar high. Let's just get to 1,000 likes. How about that? I put the bar high, so let's go. Smash that thumbs up. Help us grow. Help us bring you more free poker content here from the PokerGo Tour at the PokerGo Studio down on the Las Vegas Strip. Kings for Weisman. That gets it done.
Chen had a pretty defendable suited ace with a jack 9 in the big blind, but off his stack and the deuce doing nothing to add to the strength of his hand, pretty easily dominated from Weissman most of the time. You can see he did have kings and the equity to continue, but decides just to let it go. I have watched Chen play a lot of Omaha high-low split games, and he is absolutely amazing at those. So you would think it would just carry over into the high form of PLO as well.
That's my turn. Sorry.
I was thinking, Dylan, you don't have a very good hand, buddy. Even you know you should fold this one.
This guy's really going deep.
I'm not. He's got that nice beard. I was admiring it.
Negreanu really could put on some pressure here. Song is a shorter stack, but he is in second place compared to Daniel. If Daniel wants to play a big one,
I used four
really
folds,
put the
so that's
pressure.
Squeeze your vig, as the lock used to say.
Wow, that's an old live.
What's that?
wow, Song is just going for it. He does not believe Daniel, using the power of the suited ace king. Put Daniel right and back into the blender. Wow, what a play.
Shouldn't have told him to squeeze her vig.
Yeah,
Great play there from Song.
Good hand.
Takes that one down and moves into the chip lead, knocking Negreanu out of the top
Then what are
spot.
you doing?
Negreanu
4-bet,
still,
right?
of course,
Stupid.
very healthy with just over 4 million in chips,
You
but
4-bet, you don't have aces. Why?
Oh, we have the 4-bet.
Yes,
Because
100%. Only hand you're allowed.
he knows what you're doing, sir.
Oh, that's 1 ace plus this. 2 ace.
You have to. If you don't have it, you lose the pot. If I'll see it in the camera and you
That's
didn't
why
have
it's a
aces,
bluff.
you owe me 900K.
You owe me 900. Is that how this game works?
Yeah, I mean, that's a rule that we established.
I'm sorry.
Final
my bad,
table.
my bad.
4-bet must
It is
be
really,
aces.
So
really
he still
rare
makes
to
money?
find someone who 4-bets without aces, and that was such a good play in terms of moving himself into the chip lead. If he wants to, he can punish all of the other stacks at the table now. Daniel obviously had the hand to 3-bet with the ace king 10-9 with a suit, and just ran into what he thought was aces, because most of the time it is aces. So Song showing some chops here.
Blair makes the call here from the small blind. Yockey opened with Jack 10, 10, 9. Weissman's out of the way from the big blind, so heads up here we go. 700K in the middle. King
Blair,
4-3.
Blair, another player that we've seen make some pretty high stakes, no limit final tables, showing his chops in PLO. A lot of really all around just good players at this final table. Really good board for Yockey to bet here. It's hard for anyone to have more than just a pair at this point. If Blair doesn't have a king or something, some backdoors to go with it, he just has to give it up.
Yockey is known as one of the more aggressive players when it comes to PLO. He will certainly get after it when the opportunity presents itself. We saw that plenty at the event number 1 final table. You know, here a little bit more handcuffed given his chip position, but still in spots like that, you know, he'll be driving the action when he can, especially in position.
So I have been in the PLO learning streets, watching some Galfon videos, Richard Grieco, a bunch of other Run It Once pros. Watched all the Triton stuff, so I'm getting more into the feel of how these things play. And there was a video on Run It Once about hand classes and flop textures, and that really opened my eyes into how PLO works. And I think Yockey is just incredible at understanding when he should be betting based on the different types of flop textures. If you have a King 4-3 rainbow flop, basically the best that anyone can have is one pair. I mean, unless you have a set of kings, because it's so unlikely for people to play the 5, 6, 7 type of holdings. A lot of players just have high cards, like we see the ace queen here. Song getting to check in the big blind does want that low flop.
Ace 8-3 here with a couple of clubs.
Like a board like this, Weissman just calling out of the small blind and not facing a raise from Song in the big blind. Weissman knows he has a pretty big equity advantage in this hand. Does decide to check over the chip leader, knowing that he can be put under a lot of pressure. If he does decide to bet and get raised, he just has to fold and give up all of his equity. We can see he's 70% here.
Song comes with a small bet, minimum 100K. Weisman sticking around, understandably. No real reason for him to blow it up hot here out of position.
Wow, that's actually a really good card for both players. Gives Weisman the queen high flush draw to go with his ace queen. And Song now has trip threes.
Yeah, this is a gin card for Song.
And a card for Weissman to lose a lot more money in this pot. I think it's all sizing dependent here. Song can go small again and probably get a lot of calls. He does decide to check it back. That is interesting.
Check back from Song, 4 of diamonds here on the river. So neither flush draw coming home. 100% here for Song, of course, as long as he doesn't fold his hand.
That check back from Song saved Weissman so many chips in this pot. Both players think they have the best hand. I wouldn't be surprised to see Weissman throw out a 66, 70% pot bet here for value. Does decide to check, probably based in ICM considerations. Wow. Song just lets him get off so cheap.
100K minimum and snapped off from Weisman, understandably, and Song probably could have got a lot more from Weisman. And, you know, if you're Weisman, yeah, you're a little bit upset maybe that you lost that pot getting sucked out of him, but on the other side, you're like, whoa, I could have lost way more, so this is great.
So many chips. I love the way that Dylan played that hand, knowing that he had the equity advantage on the flop, still just wanting to play small, keep it consistent, and then just snap calling the river. No need to put any more money into that pot. A really smart man once said, "You don't want to be all loosey goosey at the table eating a sandwich."
Is that smart man at the table?
Yeah, right now he's on the screen at the table eating a sandwich. Like I said, that no one is really stepping out of line here. Even Yockey isn't playing his normal aggressive style like we saw in the first event. That is surprising. A double paired hand. Yeah, you have no suits, but it only cost you 50,000 more to call and try and hit a set. When you have the chip lead and you can put pressure on your opponents, maybe he just respects Yockey, doesn't want to be out of position against one of the game's greats. I was wondering coming into today, the last couple tournaments, we saw the final table. People were just playing what we call chip EV. Basically, it's a theory that allows you to try and earn the most amount of chips without any consideration for making pay jumps. Everyone at this table has shown the propensity to subscribe to ICM, which is a theory of folding actually makes you more money because other players will bust out and you will increase the amount of money you make based on the pay jumps. Weissman's definitely going to be opening this with a suited ace and a king in his hand. A lot of the times in PLO, you want to be opening hands that contain an ace and a king.
If you're going to be eating a sandwich, I can't raise this hand.
Oh my gosh.
Play way too loosey-goosey when you're eating a sandwich. I can't.
True.
I can't open that one.
Is that true? That's a read I never had.
You can't play loosey-goosey.
No, but you say it. Like,
Now it's in your head.
we've been together for long enough.
You play.
I mean, if
You're right.
Daniel saw what he just folded on a small
you're
blind,
right.
he should
Last
give
time I
him
raised
more
the four
respect.
bet.
But obviously, two very good hands to see a flop, try and hit a set.
Ace Jack 7 with a couple of clubs.
Yeah, Song, very good board for Song. Inside wrap and a flush draw.
Negreanu's out of there.
It's funny. There's I have a screenshot. The first time we made that meme was at a final table we made together. It was like one of the PLOs from USPO 2 years ago. It was the one with me, you, and Ronald on it.
Me, you, and who?
Me, you, Ronald, Alan, and Alan.
Yeah.
It was that one.
Oh, yeah, what I had.
Yeah.
The ace king dominate.
Yeah, exactly. The ace king.
Great shot. Good job, production. So the reason you want to be opening hands that contain an ace and a king is because the most likely hands that are going to 3-bet you contain ace-ace, king-king, or ace-king themselves, and you block a lot of other players from raising you, and you get to see the flop for your price, not their price. I'm walking out if Yockey folds this on the button. I'm done. I quit.
Where's your pot?
Oh boy.
Where's your pot?
8:15.
Weren't you ever told not to talk with your mouth full, Daniel?
9.
Did you say pot?
Ace Ace 9-3 double
I'm not
suited
sure if
for
he's a pot or
Negreanu.
not, but he put a lot of chips up there.
Raise your pot.
Oh yeah.
He said fold.
850.
Raise a pot. Raise a pot. Look, see, this hand you're allowed to raise with. Because aces,
Double suited.
2 suits.
Ace
Wow.
3 for low. He's got the 9 though.
Yeah, the 9 kind of sucks.
That's why I had to pot it to get him out.
Nice bet.
Not loosey-goosey eating a sandwich. Height is right.
You know, that did used to
don't
be
do
a
that,
thing
dude.
back in the day. Like, I
You would've
just
raised
remember,
100?
I want to say it was even in
See?
Mike Carroll's Book of
Quick
Tells.
corner.
Like, if somebody at the table is, like, eating or drinking, then all of a sudden they stop and have an aggressive action,
he's
well, they
very
probably
famous.
just
He's a good
have
one
it,
to study
right?
from.
I've noticed that.
It's good.
a lot over my years of playing.
I mean, it probably doesn't apply as much here, right? But
You can't be that
you know,
famous without
lower limit stuff a couple years ago for sure. You know, somebody's like
What,
all
you
of a
wouldn't
sudden
raise that hand,
put
Dylan?
their burger down or whatever. Oh, I'm gonna raise.
Raise.
You played it great.
Oh, okay.
You played it
I
great.
would not
A
have
little bit
played it
scared.
later.
Or the guy's like falling asleep
He
at the
would've
table,
tied
getting a
it. I would've
massage,
made it.
looking
Yeah.
at his cards,
also take
and just
another
like
5 seconds and,
perks
like,
up.
But yeah, like look at
He's
him,
got
like,
it.
How much you playing?
Finish eating first.
How much you How much you playing? How much you playing before you play the hand? You again?
I like Song's style. He's valuing position more so than like the hands he's getting. He's using his big chip stack. Normally 8-6-6-5 isn't a hand you really want to get involved with, but he is in position with the chip lead against all the other players at the table. And if he actually connected with his board, say a 6 or some straightening cards for his hand would be very underrepresented. Pretty good card for Song. We don't know Blair's hand, but Song picking up 2 pair on the turn probably just wants to get to a cheap showdown. Does decide to check back. It's a pretty bad card for Song's actual hand, but not too bad for his range. His range does contain a lot of ace-ace and king-king combinations. Blair does have a lot of bluffs in this spot. We want to call with just 8s and 5s. We lose to all jacks and overpairs. Blair susses out that queens could be good and does get maximum value for them.
Have you ever bluffed? The guy called, and you had him beat anyway.
Yeah.
That happened to you?
Yeah. That actually happened
I've
to
done it
Eric.
twice.
That happened to Eric this tournament.
Really?
Oh yeah, that hand.
Like it was
Level
like
one. It was like level one.
Eric.
It was such a silly. It was such a stupid bluff.
It was, he bluffed with top set and then
bluffed
got
with top
called
set.
by the second top set.
It was like ace king 10.
And then the river, like, but the flush draw, and the river was the deuce of diamonds.
Yeah, like
but the king of
7-2,
diamonds.
then the deuce of diamonds on the river. And I had aces. I knew I was dead. I checked. I just like desperation heaved it.
And the king, it was Latoro. Latoro calls.
I
but
saw one yesterday with Maxim and Sean Winter on the turn of the river. It was like he was bluffing with 10s, and Sean knew he was bluffing and called him with 8s on like king high board.
10 seconds.
No, that was.
I've been
You were so confused.
all in as a bluff twice.
I couldn't believe I was like,
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
in
the.
the same
I mean, that's just almost never.
You played it perfectly. You got the worst hand to call and the better hand to
The
fold.
first time,
Played it
the
great.
first
Almost
one,
never happened.
I was like super short on day 1, and I like peeled king jack. on
Chen's
10-9
gonna
for a
shovel
flop,
chips
and then
with this
jam river
hand.
for pot. Guy
Ace
called
king and a suited ace.
5 high.
Because
He's like, I knew you were bluffing.
yeah, but
Really even to
I'm like, yeah, but like
Robbie
you
did.
can only beat like queen jack. Like you can't beat like anything.
well, you could beat one hit.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah. And then, no joke, in the same tournament the following year, like there's a spot where this guy raises, and another guy 3-bets, and I cold 4-bet 10s. And he calls, and the flop comes with ace, ace, X, and I bet small, and he calls. And I decided, well,
You got lucky ace king.
I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I mean, I can't.
He's got
I
jacks.
know I have the bottom of my range.
You do.
Like wouldn't cold 4 king queen suited
You're not
here.
supposed to have ace.
I wouldn't be
much,
surprised to see Weissman just
So
stick it in
I'm like,
here.
fuck it, I'm just gonna try to fold him off like
Definitely
that.
has enough
So I
equity.
bet,
Chen
he
is
calls,
playing a lot
and I
of
jam
a lot
river,
of high
and he calls.
cards on this board.
And
I
he
think he's
has
gonna stick it
fucking
in
king
with
eight
the
on
pair
the
of 7s and the
raise on
2
the flop.
overcards, backdoor
And he's
flush
like,
draw.
oh, I knew you were bluffing. You're so bad. And I'm just
You're
sitting there,
so bad.
and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, and I'm
So
like, in
Weisman
my-
does
in my
bet
head,
enough
I'm
to
like,
put
I'm
Chen
like,
in.
you
Chen
literally
calls
can't
it
beat a
off.
single hand of my range. Like,
What do you have? King queen suited. You could have king queen. No.
I don't think I would call 4 king queen suited, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying. I'm just trying to think of a hand.
That's the only one. It's like literally the only one. I mean, I'm not a hold'em player.
It's not. I mean, there's spots where it's.
60% here for Dylan Weissman to eliminate James
Yeah,
Chen.
that's different. Yeah, but it's like under gun 2, and I was 1 over, and like honestly, I only 4-bet because I knew this guy was really wide. I thought I was just gonna fold, and he peeled the 4-bet king 8 suited instead.
Ooh, what's going on here? We got people. We got.
Yeah, pay
James,
attention, guys.
third
There's an
final
all-in and a
table in
call.
3 days. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
What do you have?
I have a 7.
Good for you. And the other guy has a pair of 9s. Who's the other guy?
7 and
You.
2 overs. Come on,
So
man.
Who else would be the guy with a pair of 9s?
Okay, James, we're rooting for you. The chat group is rooting for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what do we want? A king? The chat has officially...
Dylan, this is like when what's his name was rooting for me.
What do you have?
5 of spades
So,
here on the
You
turn.
have spades?
That was a good turn.
Spades
considering
now
he didn't actually
working
make me.
for Chen.
Confirmed.
He's up to 11 outs here. 1 card to come.
Lots of stuff.
Like that.
3 of spades comes home, and Chen finds it.
Straight.
The A7 of spades in
for you
his
guys.
hand,
Yeah.
playing for the flush, and he's going to get a double up. And I think that chat that Daniel was referencing, rooting for James Chen, is the side bet chat. I think there's 10 or 11 players that are in a side bet, must win the series leaderboard. I don't think Chen is in it. Therefore, the chat is rooting for Chen to win that pot, because I think Dylan Weisman's in it. I think Bryce Yockey might be in it. Daniel Negreanu,
funny
probably
watching
like
guys
Jesse
root for
Lonis, Alex Fox, and you know, all Sean
Yeah,
Winter,
yeah,
all the
it's
regulars
like
that
the
usually
exact
get in
so
these
early
side
that it
bets.
doesn't even
Yeah,
count.
literally.
50K must win.
Yeah, I'll
Must win the
sorry.
leaderboard,
Right.
right? So if you're out of it,
So
you still have
rarely,
people.
somebody rarely wins.
Did you hear about what I did
What'd
to
you- how
Josh
many players
yesterday
did you get?
and what his comment was?
Oh, when they hit
500.
the 10-10?
When it ran off 10-10, and then who was sitting next to me? I forgot already.
Isaac, come to
Isaac, yeah. Isaac is sitting next to me. He looks at me and he's like, I'm rooting for you. Josh is like, oh, are you? Flops the fucking flush. I'm dead. And he's like, I hope you keep rooting for him. 10-10. He's out of the tournament. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I read that hand yesterday, and the first thought that came to my mind was,
chips, you know? Just
is
like
that
get it in.
redemption enough for
Everyone
the
has their
50K
shtick,
hand,
you know?
where
No,
your
it's
opponent
not.
Your
flops
shtick
the
is
nut
actually
flush,
like
and you
having
just go runner, runner, boat? No,
99.999%.
not
No,
redemption.
I mean, the 50K
You know, what's
is the
crazy is I
50K.
actually
50K
had-
PPC, come on.
The most
I had a
absurd thing ever.
hand on this table where I got it in, drawing dead. 3 ways. I jammed 0% on the turn. The guy rejams. Alan Lee folds a full house, and I go from 0% to 50-50, and I win the hand.
That's solid.
That's a good
Create your own
feeling.
magic.
That was the.
I had 1.5 to start.
My friend says I have a knack for playing the made-for-TV hands.
Yeah.
Somehow, like
I mean, the deuce hand is like, I don't think
The deuce
people, that
hand's
people
insane.
that don't understand the game that much are like, oh, what's the big deal? It's like, you don't, the order of cards.
Yeah.
It's not just catching the cards. The
Yeah.
order of cards
Yeah.
has to come in that order.
exactly.
It's so insane.
Yeah. I mean, he could have just cut an 8, and then the hand's just done. Like,
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's another aspect. He might even have to stay with him. Like if he makes 9-6, right?
So Weissman limps.
5-3 to start.
Song hits it
yeah,
with the
if he catches
raise, and
9-6,
Weissman
9-6,
called.
for sure.
What's he
For
gonna
sure.
do?
Yeah.
Draw to
Song
I
just
mean, I
flops the
shorted,
flush.
threw it out the small blind. He has to go with it.
I'm actually pretty surprised that Weissman is deciding to play this hand
No.
9-9-7
good
3,
enough.
one suit,
And
out of
also,
position against the chip leader.
you have a convert.
I mean, I'm sure it's correct in PLO
Probably not
solver
great
land.
against seven.
We are the
Honestly.
shortest
If you had
stack,
9-5,
so we need to try to accumulate
Yeah,
chips.
9-5.
Yeah.
But this hand
That's the
does
one.
not play very well post flop.
Would imagine
But
Weissman
think,
here.
you know,
Oh,
off
I
my
thought he was
stack,
going to
you
just check
have to
fold.
Have like a pad 9 of some kind.
Okay,
I
he's
mean,
in there. 10 of spades
100K
here on the
win,
turn.
to win 900K. Okay, let's go. It's actually a really bad card for Weisman because it gives him,
Which is
in
also-
his mind, a little bit of equity.
Beat whatever he has.
Right, exactly.
Weissman checks again. Song just getting
Well,
a
in that
little
scenario, he'd be dead either
eye
way,
of
so.
Weisman's stack. He does have this hand locked up. That is
It's extra funny
300,000.
'cause
A
when Nick
quick
commentates,
fold
that's the
from
little coin
Dylan
that
Weissman,
happens.
who
Yeah. Saying like what needs to happen.
slips a little bit further down the leaderboard. 1.1 million for him. It is still Song up out on top with 6.1 million. For those of you who are looking to take your poker game to the next level, check out octopipoker.ai, home to the ultimate poker lab for everyone. It is very accessible, it is extremely affordable. And one of the best things about Octopi Poker is, well, one, not only that you can learn from that man on your screen, Stephen Chidwick, but you can drill real spots from PGT final tables. Check it out,
Like, and also, like, when I was
octopipoker.ai.
playing heads up, like I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, dude, I know I'm making so many mistakes in heads up stud and stud 8. I just don't know these games. And
Oh,
like,
those
Still
are-
6 players
Yeah.
left here
I
in
mean,
the
heads
third
up,
event of the
especially.
PGT
Whatever, I'm
PLO
fine.
series.
Like,
My name
that's
is
it.
Donnie Peters. I got Kevin
It's a great
Gerhart
game.
alongside me.
Like,
How
heads
many
up, you
PLO
can't
bracelets
have
do you
that
have?
One.
One.
I mean, that's
was
how
it was it
feels,
the
but
online
it's
one?
too small.
Yeah,
It's hard
there
to
you go.
say.
One PLO bracelet, one PLO
Yeah.
Like
bracelet.
5-6-handed with
you go.
big antes?
Yeah.
Fuck, now you're
So I would say you know a
that's when
thing
I
or
was
two
loving
about
it, whenever like
four
when Ivy
card.
went broke. And
I know
played.
more now than I did back
Trying
then.
to push it and study.
I've
Yeah, of course.
studied a lot more
Brewer,
since those
Dylan,
bracelets. That was
they weren't
probably
playing.
just dumb luck.
Well, that's how it is for all of us in poker. You start out, beginner's luck. You think you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
It's easy.
150%.
And the more you learn, the more you realize you have no idea what's going on.
I mean, that's the fun thing
Exactly.
about that game is that when
Yeah.
you're against the right players, that's like
That's what
your
Ivy
VDIP
does.
can get so
Ivy
high.
does that
The
against
hardest part is
anyone.
trying to keep up with everyone else who's also doing the studying.
Yeah, you
He
just
went like
sneaking out
years
playing.
where he
The games have just
opened
gotten
high
so
card
much
more
harder
than
over the
percent.
last few years.
Just for years. Like,
It's a good strategy. People are.
I'm always
People will do
extremely
differences.
jealous of the people who
If
are
you prove
just
them, he can
supremely
continue and
naturally
try to
talented.
Yeah.
They don't need to study. They just get it. Like it
could open
just
king seven,
comes
do
to
it
them
to win.
naturally. Or they can see something at the table and be like, oh, that makes sense. You know, like you might see Dylan Weisman, who's very rooted in theory and study and all that sort of stuff. And but if you're a supremely talented player, you just see it once. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There's one name that pops into my mind.
Who's
one,
that?
One over everyone else, and it has to be Eric Seidel.
There you go.
Just been crushing the games year after year. I actually saw him in this tournament earlier today, the 10K.
Yes, Eric Seidel is in the main studio. Event number 4 started earlier today. The first of 3 $10,000 buy-in events. All final tables will be live streamed on PokerGO, on the PokerGO YouTube channel. So daily live streams other than on Sunday. We take Sundays off on the PokerGO tour. So if you're loving the PLO, tune in every single day.
Really, really good card for Yockey on this turn. Turns 3 8s with a flush draw. Obviously, we can see it's no good against Chen. I don't expect Chen to go anywhere. He did check back the flop.
Yeah, just getting caught up to speed here. Chen opened with a raise to 300K. Yockey defended out of the big blind. Check on the King 8-3 flop. Now Yockey leading here for 275, and Chen comes along. 1.3 million in the middle. Queen of spades on the river. Hello? Chen finds the lady? As Patrick Leonard would say, Mamma Mia. Mamacita coming home. Now, it is a spade, okay, which could throw some caution Yockey's way.
Yeah, without blocking a spade in his own hand, it's pretty likely that Chen has a flush that he checked back on the flop. I think he's going to go for a small-ish bet. Exactly, try and extract some value from maybe a hand like ace-queen, maybe a hand, I don't know, some jack, queen-jack type of hands.
Yeah, I mean, if he's calling with queens on the turn, maybe he's got a couple jacks in his hand, something like that.
Right.
You know, blocker sizing here from Yockey. Of course, we can see the raise is coming, and
Yeah, Yockey's going to get the bad news, and
Yockey hates it, but
he's not happy.
pulls the hat over his head.
1.575.
Kind of thinking to himself right now, I'm sure, like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Like, you know, I just drill my 8s on the turn. Like, this is great.
1.575.
So Yockey's thinking, can Chen have a hand like ace of spades with jack 10? You know, something that he could find a bluff, or is he turning a hand like ace queen jack 10? Missed hearts on this board into a bluff. I think Yockey's going to find the fold. It's hard for 3 8s to be good.
And also going back to the flop, Yockey's got to be thinking, you know, if he's got ace-x of spades in his hand, is Chen just going to bet and try and get his money in?
Right.
You know, yeah, there are going to be times when players balance their check back range and they can check back flush draws and very good flush draws, but that's for Yockey to figure out right now.
This is one of the worst spots in poker where you're kind of betting for value on the river and your opponent raises and the hand really doesn't make any sense. And you have to spend a while to try and figure out exactly what he has. Does 2 queens turning queens full into the river, on the river makes sense as an all-in from Chen. Yeah, for sure. Is it likely that he has that? I mean, he has it here, but does he have it always? No. Does Chen ever have king-king here that check back the flop? No. Just trying to figure out, would he do this with the ace of spades blocker? Would he have the nut flush and jam on this river specifically?
Yockey does find the fold there. Of course, you know, you don't like folding in that spot, but good on Yockey for exercising that discipline and saving those chips. He dips below 2 million. Chen, who came into this final table as the short stack on
like
1 million even, is now up to 3.3 million.
I got you.
Yockey's just kind of over it. How about a little roll call in the chats, please? Let us know where you are tuning in from. Again, this is the event number 3 final table at the PGT PLO series. 159 entries to start. Final 6 right now. Everyone's guaranteed $39,750. My name is Donnie Peters. I got Kevin Gerhart alongside of me. If you haven't yet on the YouTube channel, please do hit that thumbs up, throw us a like. Also subscribe to the channel so you can get updates, you can get, you know, notifications when any new videos drop, highlights, all that sort of stuff. Subscribe to the PokerGO YouTube channel. It's really the only currency we ask for when we do these free streams. The better the analytics look, the better we can persuade the bosses to let us do more free content, and that's dead serious. If we see, hey, look how much the people love this, then they'll let us do more stuff for free. Spiker coming in on the PokerGO chat saying he's from Cheyenne, Wyoming. We got Portugal, New Zealand, Bad Beat Lust, Greece as always. Does that mean you don't travel? If it's always Greece, you don't watch poker while you're on the road? It's called PokerGO for a reason.
To watch it on the go.
That's right. I see Wisconsin, Spain, Erie, Pennsylvania. Somebody said they're watching from the boiler room. I doubt that. Shout out Caitlin. More free content.
Part of the problem. We're going a little thin.
So we saw Chen open the last hand with queens and decided he wanted to limp this hand under the gun also with queens. Weissman did find the 3-bet off of 1.1 million, which is under 10 big blinds. Chen is trying to decide, are queens good enough here to continue? Decides on yes, he wants to see a flop that doesn't contain an ace or a king. And then we run our equity, see what happens.
So Weisman has 525,000 behind here going to the flop. King 9 with a couple of clubs.
That's how you win PLO tournaments.
Great spot here for Weisman, flopping those, or sorry, flopping a full house. Now, if you're Weisman, I mean, are you just always betting here? Is there any checking back because you've smashed this so much? You also have a queen of clubs in your hand, which blocks some flush draws for your opponent.
Yeah, it is a really, really interesting spot. Would you check back with aces here? I don't think so. So that you have to, you might have to just full exploit and probably know that you have 100% in this hand and your opponent is just drawing dead. Maybe they'll make a mistake and put chips into this pot.
Weisman does check back. And now it looks like Chen's going to go for this, and he's going to see the bad news because Weisman's going to quickly call this off. Or put the money in, the extra 25K. Chen calls it off.
I don't hate the all-in from Chen. I mean, queens could be good on this board some percentage of the time. Weisman doesn't always have to just flop the nuts and have 100% equity.
Because also flush.
8 of diamonds on the river completes the board, and just like that, Dylan Weisman, Dr. GTO himself, up to a little over 2.5 million.
Way ahead as it gets, you can't lose.
No, I just swapped the joint.
That's like when you open 150% from the steal.
Truth Hurts asking, is this live? Just kidding. I mean, yes, it's live. We're plenty live. I see Ireland, Scotland, New Mexico. Somebody's watching from international waters. Interesting.
What are they doing
Hawaii.
out there? Hopefully,
good question. Hopefully nothing too sketchy. Watching from the UK, the Dirty South in Georgia, another New Mexico.
You know what we're missing
Switzerland.
from this series?
What's that?
Everyone from Finland.
We are missing everyone from Finland, and in spite of the fact that they're not there, the numbers have been great.
Yeah, this
You
is
know-
160 runners for like all of the 5Ks is amazing.
Exactly. First event opened with 164, then we had 159 entries in the next two events. The 10K that you and I saw a little bit earlier out there in the main studio room is pretty full. You know, maybe one table is empty right now, but
Yeah, it was like 60 runners when I left.
yeah. So you know, we're missing the Finns. We wish they were here,
I don't know what they put the water in Finland, but they just breed PLO players.
but that's between it's usually 3 to 4 Finns. Then you have Jonas Kronwitter who rolls in that group as well.
Right,
so
yeah.
so among them, you're probably missing 20 entries per tournament
at least
with the way that they blast off and get after it. So, you know, that 164 in the earlier one is really like 184, you know. So really good numbers overall. And hopefully, and I say this with all the love and respect in my heart, hopefully they're getting FOMO for missing it. You know, hopefully they're like, damn it, what are we doing?
Get done playing the Triton PLO series, so I kind of expected them to make the trip out here, but and if you could learn from anyone, just pick someone in Finland and watch how they play PLO, and you'll start winning.
So Yockey and Song here going to get the money in. Song, Jack 9, 8, deuce, double suited. Yockey, ace, Jack, Jack 10, rainbow. Song raised to 450K. Yockey 3-bet to 1.55 million. Song put them all in. Yockey called it off, of course. And we are off to the races. Yockey 61% equity here to double up. And this would be a pretty hefty double up if he's able to secure
That
it.
just means he's going to hit 2 of them.
No, no. Don't put a deuce on the flop. Unless it comes with a jack.
No more jack.
One more jack.
You got jack?
It's like when people say you're dead. There's still one. That looks
King
pretty good.
7-3 rainbow. Very good here for Yockey.
8 of
He got
clubs.
10 of clubs.
8 of clubs. That's the one.
Everyone's always rooting for a sweat in PLO. 6 of spades on the
Yeah, I got
turn.
defense.
Yeah, you do.
Song with a straight draw now. Yockey does have that 10 blocker in his hand. 4 of hearts on the river, and Yockey is going to double through the chip leader Song.
1.9.
So Yockey up to 4.1 million. Song knocked back to
they're also setting full
4.15 million. And Yockey and Song are now
chat, but I know that.
basically tied for the chip lead, just 25K
Also feel to have,
separating
like, a whole
them.
group of people anti-rooting you.
And they're like
1.9.
kind of my friends too. It's like we're all just hating on each other.
It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah. It's like
But
the
loving
shit.
If there's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
person
yeah.
at the table
It's gotta
that I
be
think would do
small
the
enough
best
where like no one's really gonna get hurt.
with a
but
big
fun
stack,
enough
I think that would be Bryce
you can
In
needle
the
the shit out
chat,
of people
everyone
still.
thinks
Yeah, I
Jeremy
mean,
Hoffman's a nice guy and he's turned full heel.
Oh, he really he's
Oh my god, that's
He
hilarious.
posts like a hand you won. He's putting the double thumbs down.
That's hilarious,
Like,
actually.
He's getting his family to root against.
Jesse was too.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, actually.
Jeremy was funny. People are like, I thought you were supposed to be nice. Like, no, I really want to get rid of that image.
Yeah, he's
like,
really good. Oh, I love it.
like, I really, it's like, I just want to be
Racing
known.
the heel.
Yeah.
No, he needs to stop being so nice in person, then.
I don't think he can do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually because he actually is just nice.
Yeah, he's just too kind of a person.
A little more edgy now.
Yeah, you know.
Still
once
6
you get
players
that wealthy,
remaining here
the little
in event
people
number
and the little- you
3.
know what it's like.
Of course.
Like,
A little bit.
Starting to get some feelings like event number 1, where it took us, I feel like, 2 hours to lose 1 player. So
man, that's the fastest you've
Maybe
ever
we'll
agreed
see
on
the
me on
same
anything.
thing
There's
here
a little bit of
today.
truth to the
The little people. I mean, you gotta.
I'm not
Every
sure
time
Eric
I
Blair
see
has
that hand,
played a hand. Go ahead.
every time I see that hand,
Bryce made double up.
9993,
1.9.
I think
Yeah.
of the
He has like
the
4.1
poker brain
now.
teaser. What are the 3 ways you can make the nuts on
Oh, wait, no,
9993
the antes are bigger. I forgot.
with PLO?
1.15 or something.
You have to give the full board.
One's 25.
So close.
I heard this when I first moved out to Vegas, and every time I see that hand, that's exactly what I think about. Tell me in chat. You have 9993
He didn't.
in PLO.
In
and
your
you have-
hand.
In your hand, and you have to make the stone cold nuts on the river, the best hand. What are the 3 ways that you can do it?
Right.
I want to see if people in chat know.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen love it having no suits there.
Blind versus blind confrontation here. What? Call, check, and now Chen with the top pair is coming out for the minimum.
Blair finally getting involved here, too. He's been the quiet one.
Yeah,
at this final table.
The only hand I can remember him playing was where he had queens and rivered queens up against Song. There's no real reason for him to get too involved. I mean, he is in the middle of the pack. He's been wanting people to bust out to secure the pay jumps. Just we've had 4 all-ins, and every time the shortest stack has won. Blair turning 2 pair here to go along with his gut shots. Is the best hand in, is pretty hard for Chen to improve.
And Blair takes that one down.
Okay, we have some answers in chat. Obviously, 3-3-3 deuce deuce is one of the correct answers.
If you'd like to make the nuts yourself, head on over to playpokergo.com. Fun and free, emphasis on free, online poker. Deal yourself in at playpokergo.com. It's available on iOS, Android, and web. That's playpokergo.com. A lot of the PokerGo staff members play regularly, myself included, on playpokergo.com. I'm sure we got a couple,
I think we're just so used
couple
to
of battlers
one
out there that want to get involved.
Wow, Jasper
It's like Carrie does
Von
like 30 stacks. Or
actually
25.
nailed the
Just add a
hardest
0 to
one.
end. It's easy.
Yeah.
The hardest one to understand
They
is
teach
a
you that.
royal flush on board,
In math
and then you
class,
have
you
the
probably forgot.
9-3 of that
been a
same
while.
suit in your hand, giving you the nut flush.
There
Many
you go.
math classes in my life. I'm grateful to never do another one.
Did you
Shout
study math
out
in
to
college?
that guy.
I did. It was like
Jasper Van Hoof.
technically called financial.
Royal flush
engineering.
on the
It's like
table.
financial math
Exclamation
statistics.
point. Thanks,
So I
Jasper.
did a lot of math.
Good call.
Too much math.
So yes, you
Math-
make
math-
quad nines.
Luca in the PokerGo chat said royal on board
Nice.
equals 9 high flush equals nuts. Shout out Luca. Well done.
Nice. Well done. That's the most non-intuitive one.
Luca actually said royal on board, also quad 3s,
Yep.
also 9s full of 3s.
Well, you can't have 9s full, right? Because you have 3 9s in your hand.
Yes. We'll give you 2 out of 3 on that one, Luca. Luca, I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the PokerGo chat. Don't tell me I'm not looking at it. I've looked at it 20 times today.
Okay, Negreanu raising here, double suited, Queen 10 4-3, running into the
Daniel, stop
double
feeding me
suited
sandwich.
aces of Weissman in the big blind.
Getting loosey goosey.
Weisman using some speech on Daniel. That's normally Daniel's game.
And other than very early on when we saw Daniel get involved, he's been quiet since.
10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
And Daniel gives that one up.
You got easy double suited.
Can't beat aces.
I don't have aces double suited.
Why? Why you full bet?
3 bet.
He
not
does
4
have
bet.
aces
3 bet,
double
3 bet.
suited.
Oh,
Song just calls him right
3
out
bet,
of
you might
there.
have ace, king, king.
I was probably drawn pretty live.
Jimmy Bluffett, I don't hate you on the YouTube chat. I only hate the people on the
You know,
YouTube chat
Daniel,
who haven't hit
I
the
would've
like
taken
button
action,
and who
I would've
haven't
taken
subscribed to the
this is
PokerGo
worth it.
YouTube
Just-
channel. Those are the
all
only
flops
people I
I have
hate.
to go with.
Everyone else, I love you all.
Do you have an ace in your hand?
Hog Dog, I
Oh,
see
no.
you.
How'd you fold then?
I know.
Wow.
Crazy.
Maybe you're still digesting. The sandwich is still
Yeah.
inside you. Like, you're technically still eating it.
You know, I got a ladder, so gotta fold.
Yeah.
ICM.
It
Yeah,
is
for
really
sure, dude.
interesting that if Weissman had his stack of what he used to have,
I know
like
that
you
you're
know,
playing about
around
to
a
win,
million,
but
I think
actually
Daniel
return
just
might win
goes
the
with
leaderboard.
it. But the
Yeah,
chips
you're
that
really
Daniel
playing
has
above.
in his stack now are way more valuable than trying to get it in and hopefully flip for chip lead pots. Not worth it.
So after losing that hand, he folded pre-flop, did Negreanu. He's down 1.7 million on the day. He came into this final table as the chip leader in pole position to get his 11th career PGT title. As Daniel says often, and I believe he said it last night after he made the final table, he tweeted out, PLO is my jam. Daniel loves, loves, loves Pot Limit Omaha.
Interesting confrontation here. Both players double suited, containing the suit of their opponent in the nut form. so we might see some action. We do not get the right flop for it. Either player flopping too much. Daniel has a gut shot and Song has bottom pair. Really good board texture to lead. Calling out of the big blind. You expect your opponent to have a lot of high
I've just played
cards.
so much more no limit.
Yeah.
But
Daniel kind of in a
like
tough
so
spot.
fun.
Backdoor
I'm
flush
really
draw
enjoying
and a
this 'cause I'm
gut
just kinda
shot. Gut shot might not
fine
even
by
be
the seat of my
good.
pants, like I'm sure I don't know.
How about the
I'm
vibes?
sure I'm missing a ton of spots and shit, but I just don't. I just want to gamble and
Totally.
learn.
It's a great place to win.
Really good card
Isn't
for
it kind of
Song
the
to
vibes
continue
feel?
his story.
Do you enjoy these more like from a?
This is so fun.
I think
love
it's
it.
just going to work.
Yeah.
Feels like a
Song has been very good when
just
he
run with
Because you're fish.
needs to
Use
show
your
aggression.
fish, right? That's what you
Man, I
said.
got one good
It's your
hand.
fish. If I only had a good hand, and it was the it was the 8-8-6-3. That was the good hand. I don't know if I believe
Pretty
you.
good. A couple thirds.
Fish always get lucky.
Couple thirds is
I feel like
great.
I was really happy.
2/3 is a first.
Yeah.
You got like
I got good.
No, I'm getting back into it, trying to.
yeah, ace 4 deuce 5
Four
like
card is-
wrap,
Four cards, yeah.
something like that.
It's so fun.
Oh, better than that.
Yeah.
Better? All
I
right,
need
I believe
to
you. Then.
watch some.
You don't seem like the type who would lie.
I don't know what the best
you
training
can
course
give
is,
me a
but I
hand
need to.
either.
We can chat about it later.
Yeah.
Monster hand.
Yeah, I believe you.
Monster hand, one pair of
I think it's
threes.
just a lot more tournaments now, too.
There's 4 card is.
Kind of
is-
flop
The World
nuts.
Series.
4 card.
Flop nuts?
I played the
Fuck,
10.
I mean, if you
right
flop
now,
nuts,
World
you have
Series,
quads on the turn. That's a good
five
hand.
tables.
Hard to beat
Flop
quads.
nuts, like
Yeah, those
Like
are, I feel like
effective
that's like
8-6.
two pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
for
the nuts.
PLO players. That's
8-6 is still the nuts.
Yeah,
It's just the worst nuts.
the World
Like it's
Series.
huge, and there's so many just
Yeah, the World Series.
gamblers. Yeah.
I play
very
two
good.
pair like set.
2 pair is like a set a lot of times.
Yeah.
There is. It's really cool.
Wow.
The small ones are the best at the WSOP, I think.
They are.
The
No,
300s, the
3,000,
3,000
3,000.
stuff.
they're my favorite. Yeah, no, they're my favorite. Like, I really enjoy them.
I play those normally. Yeah.
Especially because when you go deep, everyone's like so scared, and you're just like you can really run people over.
Song here with an ace, king, jack 7 from the small blind. Limps in. We are playing 75K, 125K. And Yockey's got a nice looking queen, jack 10-9.
I love it. I was just gonna say, Song is going for the limp raise with his suited ace king with the jack 7. Yockey is put in a very tough spot because he has a hand that is much better than what you think it should be, blind versus blind.
Yeah, about everything. I'm kind of
Did you just learn online? Or
Yockey is actually
1, 2, 2, 5.
not as bad a shape as he might think. He
I've only been playing.
thinks
poker
Song would have a dominating ace a lot of the
I'd
time.
say I'm pretty similar to Nick in terms of vibe. He's a little.
Does
He's
have
like
the
more
equity to
two-card
call.
focused.
Yeah, I like
in
I just
position.
I love talking.
These are the
These are
two
happy.
biggest
Yeah, he's a
Tell me
stacks.
that, yeah.
And Yockey is extremely healthy, but Song does cover him, so keep that in mind here as Yockey makes the call. This pot swells to more than 2.3 million.
Run hands by those guys.
You'll learn quick. Yeah, you'll learn quick.
King
I might try
6-6 with a couple of
smaller
spades.
horse ones.
Spades belonging to
No
Yockey.
limit or something.
Yeah.
2 pair
They're a
for
little- They can be
Song.
a little draining because of the humans, but they're really interesting. Especially if you like
They're
find.
later events usually, so like if you bust in all like.
Yeah, Song probably knows he has the best hand here with ace king a lot. Doesn't block any spades. Yockey has a lot more equity
That's true. Too. Yeah, like a long day to 50.
than we think, but Bryce could just be dead with Song having kings or Song having the ace high spades. Really tough spot for Bryce.
Early and limited. Yeah.
It matters.
That's what's fun.
He has no
Limit.
back doors,
I'm
just a
pretty
front
pumped.
door
You have to
flush
look
draw,
at
and he has
the pot,
3 spades.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree.
So
Song comes with
five,
1 million.
Really good sizing here too. He would do this with all of his ace-ace combinations, king-king combinations, ace-king combinations, all of his nut flush draws.
And Yockey kind of handcuffed there based on the stacks and ICM and just puts that hand into the muck.
Mr. Negreanu, can you give me like an approximate?
2.6 back.
Thank you, friend.
These stacks are starting to blend together. Everyone is very close except for Song, who's over 6
He asked
million
before
now.
the hand, you know, just like quick. Oh yeah. Quick.
It won't take much to see all-in confrontations at these stack sizes.
We just hit 750 likes on the YouTube video. Appreciate everyone who has hit that thumbs up. Let's keep it going. I called for 1,000. That's what I want. Please, let's get us there.
2.8.
Let's try and get us to over 1,000 likes before we see our first elimination.
Yeah, we have Daniel freaking Negreanu at
I
this
know,
table.
come on. And I know a lot of people out there, you know, PLO might not be your main game, or to use Daniel Negreanu's phrase, it might not be your jam. You know, a lot of people tuning in just to watch Daniel, but they know No Limit Hold'em, and that's their preferred variant. On a scale of 1 to 10, chat, where do you rank like PLO in terms of like your favorite poker game? I'm sure we have some people who consider it a 10. I'm sure we have some people who consider it a 1. So let us know, 1 through 10. You know, where do you rank PLO in terms of one of your favorite poker games?
Song is really stepping on the gas here. A really, really strong 3-bet there coming out of the button. Dylan
3-bet without aces.
did only raise just over 2x out of the cutoff, and then
but we never
just
should have told him you
straight
can't
punishment
do
from
that
Song.
because you got that was a 3-bet, you know.
In LA. Keep 4-bet in the area.
Song really stretching out that chip lead now, up over 6.6 million.
What can you do with
It's changed so much.
Yeah, the chat's flying. I mean, there's
Great.
there's everywhere from 1 to 10. There's a couple 69s in there. Nice, I see you guys.
That's 3-bet. That's yeah, but you limped and re-raised me.
So much.
I got an 8 out of 10 for regular PLO and a 10 out of 10 for PLO 8.
Love me some PLO 8.
I mean, to be fair, LA has just changed so much in the past.
And for those of you who do love PLO, know that later on today, the reason why Remco is not here alongside of me and I got Kevin in the booth with me is because there is a PLO cash game that we will be streaming later this evening, so stay tuned to the PokerGo channels for that. If you love PLO, it's pretty much PLO all the time right now. And we soared up over 1,000 likes. I'm going to have to reset the goal. I'm going to have to move the goalpost. Sorry, guys. But 2,000 likes? Let's go. Come on. Can we get to 2,000 likes before we see an elimination? That's the new target, okay? Eight, 7, 3 here with a couple of hearts. I believe this is our first 3-way pot of the final table. We have Daniel Negreanu, James Chen, and Eric Blair in action here. Blair flopping pretty nice. He's got those nut hearts. He's got the 5-6 as well. Action checks around. Queen of clubs on the turn.
I think Blair is giving respect to Song being on his left with a huge stack, showing the propensity to 3-bet a lot of different hands. This is a hand you definitely want to see a flop with. It has nut potential with the ace-king of hearts. I mean, he does have the straight draw to go with it. Chen picking up kings and 3s on this river. Probably not too much value to be had. Not really too many hands worse that can call you. If he does find value, that would be pretty impressive. Nice, I like it.
Negreanu checked, and Chen does come with 200K. Now Blair might have enough just to call this off. That said, he could make a disciplined fold. I could kind of see him going either way here.
I think I'd lean more towards fold. You have ace-king, and you're up against 8 other cards. It's pretty likely that one of your opponents, if not both of them, have paired at least 2 cards in their hand.
Time extension.
It is a small sizing. I mean, you don't have to be right too often, but I think the percentage of time that you are correct is much smaller than you are getting in terms of pot odds.
Blair does correctly get out of the way there. Saves some chips. Daniel follows suit into the muck, and James Chen picks up some chips, and he's up to right around 2 million, which is double what he started the final table with today. James Chen, if you missed it earlier, he's at his 3rd consecutive final table to open the 2025 PGT PLO Series. He had a 3rd place in event number 1. He had a 5th place yesterday in event number 2, and here he is in the final 6 of event number 3. If Chen gets 4th, he will move into a tie, at least, for the series leaderboard race. If he gets 3rd or better, he's likely going to finish or move up to 1st place on the series leaderboard. The player that tops the series leaderboard through all of the 11 events here at the PGT PLO Series will be crowned the PGT PLO Series champion, and that player will earn a $10,000 PGT passport, which is essentially just PGT buy-in money. So nice little bonus prize there. Previous winners of the PGT PLO series include Lataro Guerra, Daniel Jing, Samuel Cipolla, and Matthew Wantman. This is the 5th edition of the PGT PLO series. And Negreanu finds aces here, and he's facing a raise from the chip leader Song. Song, ace, jack, jack 3 with a suit, makes it 400K, and Negreanu announces the pot from the button.
Are we going to get the show and the speech from Daniel when he gets the fold from Song here? Just like we did last time. This is the hand that you 3-bet with. You have to have aces.
Badugi.
He did have a Badugi. No suited hand there.
Even if it's Badugi?
Even Badugi especially. Have to.
You're gonna have the fold.
And Negreanu picks that one up and gets up over 3 million.
So many rules.
Yeah,
It's just giving away free lessons at the table. You can only 4-bet when you have aces. That's just a rule.
Let's take a look at the overall PGT leaderboard presented by PlayPokerGo. Joey Weissman up out on top. Daniel Negreanu there in parentheses in 7. If he wins today, Negreanu will move up to 587 points. He will move up to 7th place on the leaderboard. You see Eric Blair currently in 3rd. With a win, Blair would overtake Kristen Foxen for 2nd place on the leaderboard. No matter what happens today, Joey Weissman will remain out on top. You guys can follow the leaderboard a bit more closely. You can see it all on pgt.com. Either click the leaderboard tab up at the top of the screen on the website, or just head to pgt.com/leaderboard. The most important thing to know about the leaderboard is that finishing in the top 40 during the regular season, that qualifies players for the PGT $1 Million Championship.
I know Joey Weissman had the series, of a career during the first No Limit series. I didn't see him at any of the mixed series. I haven't seen him here. Maybe he's just a No Limit Hold'em specialist and hasn't really ventured out into the other streets to try and secure his lead.
Yeah, he's definitely a No Limit Hold'em specialist, and I feel like that's where he puts 100% of the time. That said, we have seen it in the past on the PokerGo Tour. We saw it with one of the players here, Dylan Weisman. He's played more games. He's branched out to, he's a PLO player, but he's branched out to No Limit Hold'em. He's branched out to mixed games more so recently. And I think it was last season when Weisman got a very hot start. So then he's like, okay, I guess I got to play the No Limit Hold'em series. I guess I got to play the mixed series. So he started to do that. Also, either last season or the season before, David Coleman got a hot start and then was like, okay, I might have to play some PLO events,
Right,
So
right.
you do see it over time. Three ways again here.
It is really nice to see a lot of these No Limit Hold'em players venture into the mixed games. We saw Mickey make a final table during one of the mixed events, mostly known for his big bet prowess.
Yep.
Chen limped the button. 3 ways to the flop. Flopped top trips on 3-3 deuce. Hard to flop top trips with 3s.
425.
And Dylan is going for it. Dylan using his I have any 4 cards in the big blind strategy, blocking a deuce, putting the pressure on Chen. This to me seems like a one and done type of bluffing situation unless we improve to exactly a 4 on the turn. This is I only have to risk 425 to win a pot of over $1 million. So it doesn't have to work very often, and I'm the one that contains most of the 3s in my range because you shouldn't be V-pipping from the button with a lot of 3s in your hand.
And now it's curious to see how Chen's going to proceed. Does he want to just call, or does he want to raise? And he does come with the pot, and that's a quick fold.
I really like potting here because it gives credit to balancing all of your overpair combinations. If Dylan does have a 3 in his hand, it comes with a kicker that is less than the ace in your hand, so you get maximum value when you do have the 3s, and you can balance from having a hand like, say, queens or kings.
Special shout out to Steve Moore on the YouTube chat with a $4.99 donation. Says, great job covering the action today. Always fun to watch. Who are your final 3 today, and who do you have coming out on top? I'm going to go with Eric Blair, Xioaxiao Song, and I'll throw Daniel Negreanu in there for the fans. Okay. Who do you got? Who are your final three?
Well, if you're taking those three, I'm taking the other three, obviously.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's great.
Bet you a venti cold brew.
There you go. Always a
On
venti
it.
cold brew for me. Let us know in the chat on PokerGo.com, on YouTube. Who are your top three today? Who do you have coming out on top? Right now, listen, it's hard to say or hard to pick anyone else other than Song. I think he's played extremely well. The most unknown coming into this final table of these 6 players, but I think he has shown that he has what it takes to compete and that he's willing to get after it. Case in point, that very first hand when he decided to 4-bet the ace-king against Negreanu, said, listen, buddy, I know you're the chip leader. I know you're the big name. I know you're Daniel Negreanu, all that sort of stuff, but no, not today.
This is my tournament to win. I really liked how he's played. Maybe there was one hand he could have gotten more value from Dylan, but every other step he's made has been so correct at this final table.
Song is a professional poker player, a PLO cash game specialist out of Shoreline, Washington.
So, interesting of note, he has 2 5s blocking the nut straight. The last time we saw a board like this against Daniel Negreanu, Song did decide to lead out of the big blind, representing a range that connects more with the lower flop from the big blind. He decides to delay until the turn after it goes check, check, and use his 5-5-9 combinations to bluff in this spot with his gut shot and added equity from the king high spades. We don't know Chen's holding yet, but we can assume he's on some sort of draw. Really interesting river card here. Song still blocking all the straights with his 5s, does have the 5 of clubs. Chen is way more likely to have clubs in this situation from the way the hand played. Song shutting it down. The one difference of note is the last time he let out of the big blind on the flop was a rainbow flop.
Chen does check back. That looks like 10-9.
Does look like 10-9.
10-9 queen.
8? I think it was an 8. I think Chen.
Yeah, 10. Sorry, queen 10-10-8. Huh, okay.
Okay, so Chen checked back on the flop with top pair and an overpair. Called on the turn with his pair of 10s overpair and a gut shot, and then rivered top set, but loses to all straights and all flushes, so decided there wasn't value to be had, and did check back and won with top set.
Still 6-handed here at the event number 3 final table of the PGT PLO series. My name is Donnie Peters. I have 4-time WSOP Gold Bracelet winner Kevin Gerhart alongside of me. Still 4, right?
Still four.
Until
For
this
now.
summer, right?
Hopefully.
Until this summer. That's right.
I'm still going to play 25 to 30 events.
There you go. We'll make it happen. We're all rooting for you.
Appreciate that.
Everyone left here is guaranteed $39,750. First place, $182,850. Negreanu with a couple of kings comes in with a raise, makes it $300K. Negreanu under the gun on this hand. Little pause there from Chen before he folds. Action now over to Weisman, who also pauses. Weisman is the short stack currently on 14 big blinds.
Yeah, the power of his suited ace on the button to go along with a queen is definitely a reason to pause, but the deuce offsuit in your hand does not help at all.
Raise and take it for D-Negs there, as he's fighting back. Negreanu came into this final table with the chip lead a little bit over $5 million, but he's been sliding the wrong direction on the day, but as of late, the last rotation or two around the table has started to climb back in the positive direction, and he's now sitting second in chips, slightly ahead of James Chen. As always, shout out to everyone who is watching on PokerGo.com. I mentioned Luca already, Spiker, Bad Beat Lust, Pappy Jack.
10 seconds.
Fabula, sorry, I don't have much to analyze in terms of the coffee front. Jason W. Clark, I see you out there as well.
Would you raise if I called?
I would at least,
At least check.
Pot.
pretty good hand.
Yeah.
Very good hand for Daniel onto the big blind.
Reduce Spadoogie.
Huh? Oh, thank you.
Queen 6-3 Spadoogie.
Queen 6-3 is pretty, yeah. I was gonna say there's not many that fold, but that might be found.
Found one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're looking to play fun and free online poker, deal yourself in over at playpokergo.com. It's available on web, it's available on iOS, and it is available on Android. A very fun and fast-paced game. There are multi-table tournaments, there are sit-and-goes, there are ring games, all available on PlayPokerGo, playpokergo.com. Check it out now. Special shout out to one of our chief mods, Jimmy Bluffett, always in the chat, doing the thing, wrangling the people out there, keeping them in line.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's just what we need. We need more babysitters in the world, especially adult babysitters, keeping everyone in check.
So I'm getting a little heat for Starbucks. Punisher saying, other than Starbucks, first of all, when did Starbucks ever make good coffee? Listen, here's the deal. It's not necessarily that Starbucks makes good coffee or the best coffee. It's the fact that it's extremely convenient. Like, so when I drive in, there's one right by my house, so I just stop there and just come on down. You know, like it's the convenience factor. Also combined with the fact that they just have the app. I can fire in the mobile order. It's ready when I get there. It is, again, it's just extremely convenient. So yes, I will give up a little quality for the convenience level. That's just life.
Yeah, if you're just getting a cold brew, how much does it differ between different entities? Oh boy.
And we have an
Weissman.
all-in here. Weissman made it 525K. Yockey 3-bet. Weissman moved all in.
Got a
And there we go.
Weissman slammed over his aces.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, well, I tend to be right on these things.
I still don't buy it.
You go.
Ace, ace, 7-7 with a suit for
You like
Weissman.
mine better?
King,
I mean, I like
king,
it better too, because
8-5 double suited
I'm gonna make
for
a diamond flush,
Yockey.
because diamond's my favorite suits.
Yeah,
Three diamonds is gonna hit the board.
normally
I'm gonna
the
straight
equities don't run this far apart. We must have seen some other people fold
3, 4, 7.
the other two
I'm gonna
kings,
river
so
diamond
Yockey does need to run out of flush. Oh my gosh.
King, Jack, 9.
You have a flush.
Top set in
Alright,
the
well,
window for
there's still one
Yockey,
set.
but a flush comes out for Weissman.
I think we're gonna salute Weissman here. Nice playing with you. There's no way the 9 doesn't come.
Deuce of hearts here on the turn. That keeps it clean for Weissman. He just needs to fade the board pair,
No.
and he'll double up.
No.
One card to come.
Oh,
10 of clubs on the river. And Dylan Weissman scores another double up, and we are still 6-handed. No one wants to die. No one wants to go home.
we have seen 5 all-ins, and the short stack has survived every time. Yockey is crippled now,
I learned
just
from Josh
over
yesterday.
4
that?
big
When
blinds.
flopping a flush, just don't say anything. Just don't say a word.
Yeah, those are 2 hands that are just destined to get all in pre-flop.
Now at the event number 1 final table, Yockey came in with the chip lead. He started to kind of steamroll things early on, but then lost some big pots, ultimately went out 5th. He wasn't the first player out at the final table. 6 players came back in that one, and he ended up getting 5th place. So a little bit of, you know, what could have been from Bryce Yockey, and maybe starting to feel that same sort of thing again. Not that he was the chip leader here today, but did build up quite nicely to start. And now he finds himself severely short here with 4.5 big blinds.
everyone else except for Song in the 3 million range. This is probably going to become a folding race to see Yockey find the exit. Song very incentivized to try and run over the table. Does not want to do it with the 6-5-4-3 rundown. I think the Queen Jack 10-5 with a suit is enough hand for us to go with here from Yockey out of the cutoff. Do see him pot it. Can we find someone pick up a hand reasonable enough to contend with this? Yeah.
And it is going to be Eric Blair who finds that hand to contend with Yockey. Queen, 9-6 for Blair. Yockey's got Queen, Jack, 10-5, and he's in a pretty big world of hurt here with just 31%.
Hi. So really bad for you would be like deuce, deuce.
What's the total?
Yeah, that would be really bad.
I asked if we could get to 2,000 likes before we got an elimination. We're at over 1,300, so can we get another 700 before this board runs out? I don't know. Smash the like button, and let's see if we can get there.
I had a queen and a jack, too.
Yockey, the player, at risk here.
I'm going to make a trade.
That's a good start to a straight.
9, 7,
I guess
6.
it was a hand late on the prediction.
Okay.
Two pair.
I got hit a 6.
God.
2 pair for Blair.
Much voodoo happening.
A whole bunch of outs for Yockey.
Okay.
Okay.
4 of clubs on the turn. Yockey needs to find 1 of 5 outs. You see the grayed out outs at the top of your screen. Those means those cards are not available to him. Not that he knows that.
Yeah, he thinks he has 11 outs.
Good game, Bryce.
Ace of clubs on the river, and we are going to lose Bryce Yockey in 6th place. He'll collect $39,750, his second final table of the PGT PLO series.
That group chat cheers.
Very happy, but
And he'll cool off a little bit, maybe go for a walk, and then hop into event number 4, the $10,000 buy-in Pot Limit Omaha event that's taking place now in the main studio room. And Eric Blair climbing up to 3.8 million with that elimination.
yeah, my family's financial future is grateful for you.
We did lose one of the more talkative players at the
It's
table.
like I look around, everyone has 3.5. It feels like except you.
Negreanu's on an island by himself now.
Well, you got James.
Here you see the updated leaderboard. Song up on top, 5.45 million. James Chen is the short stack, but he's still pretty healthy overall with 20 big blinds. 3,125,000 for him. Negreanu is second in chips once again. 5 players remain. The leaderboard presented by PlayPokerGo. Free online poker available at playpokergo.com. The final 5 players are now guaranteed $47,700.
Song still not really stepping on the gas. I don't hate the decisions. Let everyone else fight it out. This is not a bounty tournament, so no reason to really get too out of line.
Couple of kings here for Daniel. He's in there with a raise. Blinds are up to 75K, 150K.
10 seconds.
We'll see a defend here from Dylan closing the action. Straight possibilities, flush possible, set possible. Only facing a 2.5x open size. Dylan does connect with the 7, but board more favorable for Negreanu with his overpair and gut shots.
Negreanu checking back, exercising some pot control. Ace on the turn. It is a spade. Negreanu has 9-5 of spades. Probably a card that favors Daniel overall.
Yeah, we block 2 kings, so it's harder for Dylan to have a king-10 combination. Our hand does have enough showdown. You know, are we getting some hands that contain 2 pairs to fold? Maybe, but it might take multiple streets. Dylan's just going to give this up with no
Cards that
equity.
touch the board.
It's weird. I have kings with a flush draw, but it's like I don't bet the flop. Then the ace comes, and then I bet.
Yeah.
It's such a silly game for viewers who watch. Why did wait? He didn't bet when he had an overpair, and then when the ace came, he did bet. Why? What are you doing, Daniel? Had spades and
Field player.
huh?
Field player. If all
I
rights
would
bet on the turn,
say
you know what I'm saying?
because the ace is a good card for your range versus Weissman's range out of the big
was only
blind, and you
concerned, what
can
if he
deny
has
some
10-10?
equity.
Right.
Like you don't just want to give your
You're gonna have to
opponent
just click call.
a free check
Maybe
to
just
hit a
like
6 or something on the river, right? You know.
Right.
ICM.
Yeah. And Daniel's talking about the ICM
You're a
implications
player,
too.
Daniel. You'd call me down.
You're a player. Come on. Come on. You're a player.
I've had that. I've done that. That's been a spot that's happened a couple times. Not in
It really
tournaments,
isn't
but, like,
hard to get
deep in
all
the-
in
deep in the cash
with
game
these
streets,
stack
that'll
sizes.
happen.
So a lot of the
Yeah,
times you
wild,
want to
yeah.
turn your hand into a
Playing
2
just
street
really deep, and you have,
value
like, the
bet instead of
kings
going
or
for
the
3
ace
streets
queen,
because
like the ace-
of
yeah,
how
ace jack,
easy
I'm
it
like,
is
you
to
just
get
got the
in
queen
and how
stack,
close
like-
the equities run.
You gotta click call. You don't even raise.
It's like your hand got better but worse.
Yeah.
Or no, worse but better. You know.
10 seconds.
Chen opening into the big stack in the big blind of Song with a pretty marginal hand, Queen 10, 8, 5. Blair giving credit, 9, 8, 7, 6, a hand you would always play in a cash game, but short stacked and kind of handcuffed with the way things are playing out, just decides to let it go. Chen with a pickup that I definitely would not have won in his shoes.
I had the funniest one. Like, we played late one night, right? And there was a final table the next day. And the guy's like, "You guys mind if we like start 15, 20 minutes late?" And we're like, "Well, you know, we think, well, what? He's got to pick up his daughter, medical something." And he's like, "You mind if we ask why?" He's like, "So I booked a massage." A massage? I'm like, "Buddy, we're not going to delay for your massage." He's like, "But it's a 90-minute massage." I'm like, "Make it 60." He got mad. He's like, "I would do it for you." I'm like, "I hear you, but if it was important, like,
Yeah.
buddy, a massage, come on. You can get one here."
It's strong. I mean, ask for what you want, you know?
Yeah.
The worst thing they can do is say
I
no.
think he was pretty shocked that I said no. I was laughing when he said massage.
Chen opened the last hand. He's definitely going to open this one.
10 seconds.
350.
350.
Did Daniel mention there that I believe it was Arthur Morris who was getting the massage?
I think so.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember coming in and Daniel was like, "A massage? Really? Come on, man."
Arthur's
Everyone's
really-
got their
really fun to
pre-final
play with.
tables rituals, right?
Right.
You know, got to get right.
Hey, just get the blood flowing.
Ace, ace, 6 here between Negreanu and Chen. Chen raised to 350 from under the gun. Negreanu defended from the big blind. Chen's going to come with 150 after Negreanu checked.
It's kind of a really sexy spot to check raise small. Represent an ace. I mean, you did call out of the big blind.
The teamwork.
You got some backdoor stuff working for you.
What game are you calling?
What?
What game are you calling?
He's saying if it's dealer's choice, what game would you pick?
I can pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you play? This one? It's fun.
Same.
Same.
Is your favorite game, Daniel? PLO?
I think so. Like, I don't know about, I like Stud 8 a lot, but
I like stud high.
I like PLO tournaments a lot. They're really fun.
I like stud high. I think that's a
I
good
do
one.
like
It's
Stud.
nice that there's so many more of them now these days.
What's that, the PLOs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like PLO tournaments.
Very tricky.
If I had to pick one game to play a tournament, it'd be this one.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like, I love Stud 8, but, I mean,
To be fair, 2-card tournaments are great, even though they've gotten like
Two-card?
they are great.
I'm super bored of them.
I know you are. It's still a great.
I'll get back to being interested in it again.
10
Yeah.
seconds.
You get so much mixed and
Yeah.
PLOs, and then I got to sit there and play 2-card, and I'm like,
There you go. We were talking earlier about kind of live tells. You go from having a conversation to just being stone-faced, start shuffling your chips and looking around. And Weissman does wake up with the goods. Ace, Queen, Jack 8, double suited. Does come in with just over min-raise. Really good price for Chen to call here.
I had 3.6 to start the hand.
Does have the most equity based on the cards that were folded. We did see Blair fold an ace and a queen. Weisman does drill the flop with the ace. Queen kicker does have 2 backdoor flush draws and a gut shot. Should just bet and win here. A very high percentage of the time.
325.
325.
The trickiest part about this situation is you really want to try and distance yourself from everyone else in the field to get to the level that Song is on, just so these people can't put as much pressure on your stack. But you also can't afford to give away chips to become the shortest stack, because then you're the one that gets put under ICM pressure to try and make chips back before busting. So the confrontations here, unlike what we saw yesterday, are going to take something special for all-ins to occur with everyone having such a close chip stack. We're definitely seeing Blair play the tightest out of the remaining players. Could just be a form of card distribution.
Raise 350.
Daniel with a hand that could definitely go for a 3-bet bluff.
10 seconds.
I don't think Daniel's one of the more like ICM aware type people. He's definitely going to play to win and accumulate the most amount of chips possible.
Yeah, I don't think Daniel himself particularly cares as much as other players as it relates to ICM. You know, and he's even said it many times. I don't care about ICM. I play to win. That said, I certainly believe he recognizes how it could affect other players. So he can like flip the script and be like, okay, these guys are going to be ICM conscious, so I'm just going to apply maximum pressure at points.
True. It's a very good concept to know and understand and use to your advantage.
We do go 3 ways here to the 10-7-7 rainbow flop, and Negreanu flops trip 7s. Now, I would be curious, or at least I would think that Negreanu might have 3-bet this hand had Song not done that 4-bet very early on with the ace-king, right?
True.
So then Daniel's thinking, okay, you know what? I'll play it in position. I'll go post, and that's where I'll apply my pressure, you know, depending on what sort of texture comes out.
Yeah, very, very good points. Song has definitely used his chip stack to his advantage.
So action check to Daniel. He bet 350. Blair folded. Song comes along.
Song calling with his overpair of kings. Knows that if Daniel doesn't smash this board, his kings are in the lead equity-wise. We can see Daniel does have the 7.
Blank here on the turn, keeping Daniel well out in front. He's going to check it back. And a 10 comes in on the river. Might be a tricky card for Daniel to navigate, but let's see what proceeds. And look at Song. He's going to pounce here.
Very, very small blocker bet. Daniel has to pay here, but really good for Song to set his own price on the river. You know, if he gets raised, he can just very easily fold. Daniel only has to pay 250K into a pot of 2 million.
It's getting tricky, and then a 10 came.
definitely not
Sometimes it'd be like that.
not an unreasonable lead from Song on that river.
And with that pot, Daniel Negreanu, in quest of his 11th PGT title, is back into the driver's seat.
Figured out
The
this
number
morning.
one spot.
You and I
He's
have made
up
this
on
exact
top of
final
the
table
leaderboard. More
5K
than
3 times
5
together.
million for him.
Just the random 5K?
In the studio, like during the PLO PGT.
We must be really good at PLO.
I honestly just think we run really good in the small stuff, and then just suck. Maybe when the pressure gets to us, we just can't
I
do
did
it.
bubble the first 100K.
Well, that's fun. I've bricked
Yeah,
my.
it was great. I flopped a set in the big blind. Didn't want to play. Jared's, I put it up by the last 6 bigs in. He's like, I don't think I could fold this hand. He has middle set. On Queen Jack 6. I think I could fold this hand.
100Ks. I think I've bricked my last like 10 100K bullets in a row. It's not fun.
$1 million.
Yeah, but then the one before that I chopped. So then it's it's like I'm like even. Like that's literally how it works. Like you chop, like you're even after winning one of them. I'm financially responsible. I sell, like I do the right things. Most of the time, I'm financially responsible.
10 seconds.
Oh,
Wow, 2 hands that could definitely afford to go to war here.
Certainly, at least from my seat, my vantage point, more interesting that Blair did not raise this one.
Yeah, he's
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 got a
definitely
very
trying to
good
play
hand
small ball.
that blocks all the premiums from your opponent.
And for the second orbit in a row, Chen limps out of the button, gets the 2 blinds to come along, and flops top trips.
Action checks around, 3 on the turn. So Chen locking this one up.
Dylan could very credibly represent whatever he wants in this spot. Does decide to just check. I mean, 200K from Dylan could work a big percentage of the time.
$325 here on the turn from Chen. Two folds, and Chen takes that one. Climbing up towards 4 million.
I think if I'm in Chen's seat and I've noticed how tight Blair has been playing, I should just be more inclined to start raising buttons instead of limping. Maybe he hasn't
You
gotten
unpause that? Thank
the
you.
feedback information from people watching the stream.
There's a break after this level, right?
Yeah. I was literally trying to see how much longer we had.
After the 150 level?
Yeah, there's a break right now.
Right now?
Or
after
like
this level?
they're gonna call amount of hands.
What's the amount of hands after that? Okay, I thought it was one more level after that.
No. Yeah.
5 players remaining here in the 3rd event of the PGT PLO series. This is an 11-event series. We'll be streaming the final table from 10 of those events. The last event will not be streamed. It's a single day, kind of turbo-ish tournament. And that final day, April 5th, is when we will be showing the final table of the 25K PLO Championship. So stay tuned for that, especially all you PLO diehards out there. Coming up later today, Remco Rinkema will be on the call for a special PLO mix cash game here on PokerGo. So once this final table ends, the PLO action will not stop today. Be sure to stay tuned for that. Appreciate everyone who is tuning in on PokerGo.com, on the PokerGo YouTube channel. Kieran, Viperos, I see you guys out there chatting. On the PokerGo YouTube channel. Throw us a like. I asked for 2,000. We're at 1,600, so we got a little bit of a ways to go. Can we get there, please? Please, don't make me beg. Come on. King, Queen, 7. Action checks to the turn. It's a 5.
500.
Song's going to pounce here. Pretty large bet sizing here with just an open-ender. He's hoping to fold out a hand that just completely missed the board. I think if Chen had a gut shot type of hand that he would try to represent something on the flop. So it obviously isn't going to work from having kings and fives from Chen's seat. Call and play a river card. Seems like a pretty bad river card for Song to bluff if Chen did have something like an ace jack, ace king jack type of hand. We want to use more lower cards on the river to bluff with our exact holding.
10 seconds.
$500.
Time extension.
500K here is the bet from Song, 25% pot.
Yeah, this is a function of we have 8 high on the river. We're never winning at showdown. We're hoping that our opponent just missed some sort of diamonds and is maybe capable of folding a hand like ace 9 of diamonds that missed maybe a straight draw to go along with it.
And Chen is going to correctly pay him off, and Song doesn't even show, just mucks his
You
hand.
have to show it a final table, correct? If they muck their cards. No, never mind. I wasn't trying to like. I thought it was a roll. I'm not trying to. Okay, thank you.
And Chen doesn't have to show. But with that, he moves into the chip lead. James Chen at his 3rd consecutive final table to open up the 2025 PGT PLO Series is looking very well here, up over 5.5 million. And Song has been sliding in the opposite direction that he wants to go. Now the short stack on 2.6 million. He was once the pretty big chip leader.
I think that comes from over defending in spots, calling with hands that don't have really good equity. In PLO, especially, you don't want to play hands that contain a deuce or a 3. They just don't work very well for your hand. They don't make the higher straights. You know, it's just not a good enough card to have. And that last pot, we saw him burn 1.2 million chips for basically no value and no gain.
10 seconds.
I did find it interesting on that last hand that as long as the cards were correct, Weissman folded ace 10, 10, 9.
He did, yeah.
So probably just a factor of the ICM implications, not wanting to get too involved, ultimately out of position.
Right. And we know that Weissman knows the 3-bet bluffing ranges in PLO down pat. I think if he had double suited ace 10, 10, 9, that's way more cause for a 3-bet. He only had to dry ace, which doesn't give you that much extra playability out of position. Just decided to let it go. It probably pained him a little bit on the inside. You know, you see these hands, and you're like, I know I should do this, but other factors are causing me to play a different way.
Blair and Negreanu going to battle on this one, 9-4-3.
Blair finding a really nice looking ace queen jack 7 double suited. Might be his first actual raise of the entire final table.
Check here on the flop. 6 of spades comes in on the turn. Negreanu's still best here, but only has a pair of 7s. That said, this could be the type of board that he can come out with a bet, and he does just that.
Yeah, this is definitely a board that favors the big blind calling range. The last couple of hands we saw Blair get involved with, you know, he had queens, he had ace king queen jack, he has ace queen jack 7. He's just not connecting with any of these boards. But the good news for him is he's saving so many chips from just playing this small ball style strategy poker.
Unmove.
It's kind of what you got to do in these tournaments. Yeah, you're one of the shortest stacks now, but you survived an onslaught of just not hitting any flops.
Daniel now right there with James Chen for the chip lead. Chen slightly out in front, 5.55 million. Daniel on 5.525 million. Song the short stack. Eric Blair just ahead of him, and then Dylan Weisman sandwiched in the middle. These final 5 players are guaranteed $47,700. Next place, $59,625.
This is what I was talking about earlier. In Dylan's shoes, now you're kind of handcuffed because you're the middling stack and you don't want to get involved with anyone else at the table because all of them can either knock you out or do big damage to your stack. So in ICM world, this is a nightmare for Dylan.
Yeah, and you know, that going back to that fold of the ace 10, 10, 9, right? You know, he doesn't. If you call pre-flop, you're in the worst position out of the small blind. You're likely going to get Song in there, so you got to play out of position against 2 players. That's not really ideal. Do you really want to play ace 10, 10, 9 for all the chips pre-flop? Probably not. So you just fold. And in an ICM world, when you're in these tricky ICM spots like Weisman's in, oftentimes you make the most money overall just by folding. Yes, that's boring, but that's the name of the game.
That's how poker works. We've come to the conclusions that these theories are accurate. We did see Dylan just fold jacks under the gun 1. Negreanu with a very playable ace queen 8-6 double suited out of the small blind does decide to just limp and call. Chen double paired hand with diamonds himself does punish out of the big blind. We can see Negreanu does cover Chen only slightly. Negreanu's small ball strategy coming to light here. We can see that he is.
Now, I know we haven't seen it yet at this final table, like a big post-flop bluff from Daniel, but if you've been around for any of the previous PGT PLO series final tables, not this series, but past series where Daniel has been at these final tables, he has pulled off some pretty highly technical bluffs at times.
Yeah.
I remember 2 specifically against Alex Foxen.
I was gonna
you know,
say.
leveraging some blocker qualities there. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Daniel can you know, turn it up quite a bit post-flop. He's been a little bit quieter today, yes, but it is certainly within his arsenal to come with things. And here, he won't necessarily need to bluff. He finds this queen on the river.
All right, I wonder what was going through his mind when he check called the flop. Yes, it was a small bet.
Chen doesn't really like it there. Daniel got there on the end with that queen, makes kings and queens. And with that pot, D-Negs is back into the chip lead, 6.3 million for Negreanu. And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah. Daniel had some pretty devious intentions calling that small flop bet. Yeah, the price you're getting is very good, but if he doesn't make the queen on the end, we have to bet our hand. We have to put money into our pot, try and get our opponents to fold something exactly like tens that Chen did have. Sometimes you just get bailed out with making a hand that just has enough equity to get to showdown.
No, it's spot. 4.7, 4.6.
Yeah, whoever wins the last pot chip leader. That's the rule.
We've picked up a lot of new viewers in the last 30 minutes to an hour, understandably so, as Negreanu continues to go for his 11th career PGT title. So how about another round of, where are you watching from? Where are you tuning in from? I'm sure, of course, that we have a very global audience across PokerGo, YouTube, and elsewhere. So let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from.
Weissman with another playable queen-queen-jack. Holding decides to give it up under the gun, just does not want to get involved in these confrontations with the stack size that he has compared to everyone else. Song not one to shy away from confrontation, does get in there. Daniel folds a Badoogie.
10 minutes, I got to run, stretch.
Where are you going?
Huh?
You get to run?
Well, on the break, I need to get something.
Oh, word.
Song here with a raise. King, Jack 6 with a suit.
That might be true.
Because it might. I think that's what it is.
Especially.
Yeah, you have some? Oh, cool. I'll just.
Another tough spot for Blair. Not a good hand. It's a 7 high Badoogie. We do have some straight possibilities.
It's like so narrow.
I was going to do the.
And he's probably plenty live,
I think
too.
in the CVS, I don't know how to check out.
Yeah,
self-checkout. That's like an extra. I'm too stupid to figure that out.
Daniel admitting that he's a bit of a boomer.
Button
Can't figure out self-checkout.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. People who didn't grow up with cell phones and technology in their pocket their entire life. I get it.
Thanks, bud. Got 2 of them. Sweet.
King, Queen, Deuce here. Extremely favorable for Song, who flops top set. Really nothing there at all for Eric Blair.
What's that?
Just shoplift.
I did. When I was a kid, we used to do that all the time. One of my favorite videos is because you show like modern times. This old man goes in a grocery store, but they don't take cash.
Betting a fold.
He wants to buy some strawberries, and he puts like change out, and he's like, he's British, right? He's like, I hereby pay by legal tender for these strawberries. This is legal tender. I have the right to use it, and I will. And he put the change there, and he walked out with strawberries.
That's funny.
He made a big stink about it, you know, because they wouldn't let him. Oh, sorry, sir, it's no cash. Preposterous. This is legal tender.
I won the last of the pot.
What?
I won the last of the pot.
You won the last pot, but you did?
Yeah, but still not.
Yeah, not enough.
You break the rule, huh?
You didn't try hard enough. You gotta feel it.
Yaba
call.
tuning in from Los Angeles. Haba says not Greenland.
Maybe bad.
I see Bethesda, Maryland,
Maybe
Toronto,
he's a cheerleader.
Yorkshire, England, Trinidad, Massachusetts,
But he folds.
Switzerland, India, Houston, Texas, New Britain, Orlando, Florida, Norman, Oklahoma,
Guy's not right.
Abu Dhabi, South Carolina,
That's it, right? That's it.
Florida,
It's a break
Sweden,
time.
Costa Rica,
That's
Serbia.
it,
I mean,
man. That's
everyone's
it.
from everywhere.
First, you get the money.
Appreciate everyone for tuning in.
Then you get the wall.
PokerGO worldwide.
That's right, baby. I mean, poker's a global game.
Want to play online poker for free? With Play Poker Go, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, Play Poker Go lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore Play Poker Go on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
Very close.
You guys saw it there. PlayPokerGo.com if you want to play free
had
online
5,
poker.
6,
Deal
10,
yourself
6.
in
Hearts?
now.
Diamonds and spades.
Back to the action here. Event number 3
okay.
of the
I did
PGT
10.
PLO series.
What's that?
5
10.
players remain. Guaranteed $47,700, $182,850
I could.
up top. My name is Donnie Peters. I have 4-time WSOP Gold bracelet winner. One of those bracelets was a Pot Limit Omaha bracelet. Kevin Gerhart alongside of me.
This is going to be a bloody level, 200K big blind. We can see Blair has 10 big blinds, and everyone else is under 20 except for Daniel.
10 seconds.
Chen double suited, somewhat run down type of hand.
Yeah, and this is also just Chen. Once Negreanu folds, he is now the chip leader of the remaining players. He's got a good position out of the cutoff, so just going to attack, put some pressure on these shorter stacks behind him.
Blair definitely could have done something there with ace, queen, 10, and a 4 with an ace high suit off of 10 big blinds.
Song comes along with king 9, 8, 5. Queen, 8, 6, rainbow.
Another kind of one of those spots where do you have enough equity as Chen to bet for 3 streets, or do you want to check, see a turn card?
Check, check. 8 on the turn.
This is gonna be a pot. This is what Eric Blair wants to see.
So
No
both
way.
players have trip 8s here. Song checks and Chen comes with 300K. Might be time now for Song to pounce with a check raise.
Yeah, Chen betting very small. He made it 500K pre and only 300K on this turn card. I expect Song, from the way we've seen him play, just to raise it to some amount. He might not even say pot. Small raise sizing. Oh, we skipped ahead in time, so it was a small raise sizing. I assume Chen just said all in on the turn, and Song could not fade the jack, 9, or deuce on the river from Chen. Chen knocking out a player and taking over the chip lead.
Oh, wow.
So we do apologize for the technical difficulties there as we did fast forward in time. The money did get all in on the turn.
Never.
Jack came on the river, which made a full house for James Chen.
That's a pretty good flip.
It's like, why would I play
And that was able to KO Xioaxiao Song in 5th place. Song taking home $47,700. And James Chen assumes the chip lead, almost $8 million for him. 4 players remaining.
Time extension.
Again, do apologize for those technical difficulties. You guys can blame me. Just blame me.
That's exactly what Blair wanted to happen. He had a very playable hand, the last hand against Chen's open, off of 10 big blinds, and wanted to see blood and got an elimination and a ladder. Two big stacks going at it, blind versus blind. Either player really loving this flop. I expect Chen to just bet and take it down.
More chips for the chip leader, James Chen. He's making his 3rd consecutive final table to open up the PGT PLO series. And now that he has made it to the final 4, he moves into a tie atop the series leaderboard standings. And he's in a really good spot here to take the top spot because he does have a big chip lead here, 4-handed, likely to make it to at least 3-handed, if not further. Eric Blair, the current short stack with just over $2 million.
Once again, Dylan is quite handcuffed here. I expect him to just lay down this queen, queen, jack 5, even though he does have a suit. We really are in a folding race with Blair. Blair already has 2 of his 10 big blinds committed to this pot. Nice looking hand for Daniel here. He's just hoping that Chen doesn't really wake up with anything. Trying to put max pressure on Blair.
Good
Nice
hand.
500K pickup.
Two pair.
2 pair.
Picture pair. 1 picture pair, 2 pair.
Good hand.
Straight draw.
Good
Yeah,
hand.
Dylan.
Yeah.
We saw him
I'm
fold
like literally
queen, so he was
overselling every part of it. It's Jack, Jack, 7, 7. Picture, worst picture. Straight draw, worst straight draw.
Still a good hand.
Suit, 1 suit. Enough to play
Yeah,
with.
little did Dylan know that he actually had quite a hammerlock on that hand with queen, queen, jack against Jack, Jack, 7, 7. But there's nothing you can do with the way the stack sizes are right now.
Through the first 40 hands or so at this final table, James Chen has the highest VPIP, 38%. Eric Blair, the lowest VPIP, 23%. Negreanu and Weisman both on 30%. Blair's got the lowest VPIP. He also has by far the lowest pre-flop raise percentage at 7%. So, I mean, that would, check out with what we've seen, what my eyes tell me. Blair has been conservative pre-flop, just
Right. Well,
kind of grinding away, trying to
all
ladder
this
up.
is a function of how they're sitting at the table. Daniel hasn't been as aggressive as we would have expected with his chip stack, which allows Chen to play a lot of buttons that we've seen him imply a limping strategy from the button. Blair is kind of handcuffed because Chen has put so many chips into the pot pre-flop, and he's no longer allowed to be the first person to raise.
So here we have Blair and Weisman going to a flop. King 9-6 with a couple of hearts.
Blair has a double gut shot and 2 overs to second pair. Weisman does have second pair, backdoor diamonds.
Check, check. Queen of hearts on the turn.
someone sneezes at this pot, they're going to win, but neither player really has incentive to do so. They kind of just want to take their equity and get to showdown without losing any more of their precious chips.
300.
300K here from Weisman.
Yeah, he knows that if Blair checks twice, he probably doesn't have a flush, and it condenses Blair's range of calling to a very narrow set of hands, so he can deny a ton of equity. We can see that Blair does have the best hand, but Weissman doesn't need to be right very often for this small bet to work.
And Blair folds, dropping down to about 1.5 million. I would be curious to know, and this would, I mean, I would have to talk to Eric Blair after this final table, but how comfortable he is in PLO, what his experience level is in PLO. And the reason why I say that is that he had a lot of success in the no limit hold'em events to open the PGT season. Had a lot of success at the recent PokerGO Cup. He comes into this final table third on the series leaderboard. Is it kind of a factor of, listen, let me play a little bit conservative, let me just try and ladder up, lock up as many points as possible, because then I can hopefully qualify for the, or at least put myself in best position to qualify for the season-ending $1 million free roll, the PGT $1 million championship, that sort of thing. Just being like, listen, PLO is maybe my second, third best game, whatever it is. These guys are all pros, so I'm just going to kind of knit it up, for lack of a better term, but gain points in the process, and then I'll make my hay when it comes to all the no-limit stuff that the PGT has.
Right. Yeah, he's in my opinion, it's not playing too tight. I think he's playing very ISM aware. He's playing very conservative to get those ladders, and we have seen him pass on a couple spots that could have ended his tournament, whereas he has laddered up twice to get those precious PGT points and go up in monetary value as well. This is the spot where he needs to just find a hand and go with it.
Yep.
I mean, the last hand was fine. This hand is definitely a fold, but you're going to get bled off so quickly with the blinds being at 200K.
So 1.5 million in the middle here. Chen made it 600K pre-flop. Negreanu defended from the big blind. Jack 8 deuce with a couple of diamonds. Negreanu has diamonds. Negreanu has a deuce. Chen also has a deuce and all black cards.
Yeah, from the way Chen's been playing, I expect this just to go check so often. See a turn card and evaluate. The most, I remember Ike Haxton saying this, that you make the most amount of equity on the turn when you can deny the most amount of equity that your opponent has. As we can see, it goes from 50-50 on the flop to 75-25 on the turn. Even though Negreanu does have two pair with a flush draw, Chen does have the nut straight.
And Negreanu is going to check here.
This was the exact turn card that I had in my head to bring the most amount of action. There's no way Chen can check the nuts right now.
600.
600.
600K announced.
Pretty meteor-sized betting than what we're used to. Should kind of send alarm bells through Negreanu's head. A lot of straights just completed. A lot of straight draws added to the board. We're not too happy with tens and deuces.
Yeah, not overly thrilled, but also too much of a hand to fold right now, especially with those diamonds. Jack comes in here on the river.
And other than a card that gives Daniel the best hand, this is going to save Daniel the most amount of money. I think Chen can very comfortably value bet his hand here. You don't even have to go too large. You can go 900,000.
Jesse Perez saying, this is it. Cold Rummer saying Daniel can get in trouble with this hand.
Have a 10.
Oh, he checks back.
Straight.
Yeah, 29.
Straight for Chen.
He just determined that there was no
Brilliant.
possible value
Yeah,
to be had on the river.
Okay. Flush draw.
Oh, real hand. 10-8.
Can do.
Can do. Surprising. Fun move.
And Daniel loves to see that check back there on the river, not put in a tough spot. Not that he was, 100% going to call, but he doesn't have to be faced with a tough decision there at all.
That is the second time that I've been kind of surprised of Chen's willingness to check back such strong value hands that he could go for small value bets on the river.
Especially when you're in the position that he's in, where it can be perceived as, well, this is just the chip leader putting pressure on me.
Right.
So maybe you get called by a little bit of a wider range of hands than, you know, just, let's say, trips on that in that spot.
Right.
Again, not that Daniel would have called, but, you know, I think that would have been a hand that makes it into the value bets for Chen for sure.
Yeah,
but
very warranted.
nonetheless, Chen scoops the pot up to 9.55 million. Daniel still in second place, 5.225. Weissman third,
You
and
can't,
Eric
though.
Blair
You can only make it 600.
is currently the short stack. He's under the gun here.
100,000.
It's binding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 4 cards. They're double suited.
Oh, wait,
this
never
is a hand we
I
definitely need
thought
to
you
go
were
with.
six.
And
I
Dylan,
can't count.
number 2, dealt Pat Badoogie. Can't turn my mixed game brain off.
And Blair knows next hand he would be committed to 400K in the big blind. There is a big blind ante, even though this is PLO. It doesn't count for the pot pre-flop, but it will count for the pot post-flop. Blair knows that, well, I might as well just find something to go with. As you said, Kevin, he deems this hand good enough.
Yeah, this hand has to be good enough. Double suited, you got some straight
I
possibilities.
actually had number 2 for the 4th time.
Oh, really?
Number 2 exactly for the 4th time.
Badoogie?
Badoogie. Ace deuce 3 5. And I was like, this is like, it happened twice. Like, this is wild. It happened a 3rd time. I was like, this is wild. And I just had it again. And I was like, this is actually.
Imagine how much what a rush you'd be on. If
Oh my. Yeah.
Everyone, we are
And if you're
so
playing
close to
Badoogie for-
2,000 likes
I
on the
never played
YouTube
Badoogie
video.
Straight for
Let's
three tournaments in a
go.
row.
Hit that thumbs up. Get us
I've
up
never
over
actually played- I've played
2,000.
it mixed a bunch now, but I've never have played just straight Badoogie. It's a fun game.
I did many years ago.
It's a great game, objectively.
When we played it with 9-handed, wasn't.
No, I'm saying like a short-handed Badoogie game,
Yeah.
like 6-handed. It's such a.
There's a lot to it.
It's so interesting.
Lots of trickery.
Lots of. It's just like the better version of triple draw.
I don't know about better. I like triple draw better. But
Triple draw is just so. It's like very static.
Yeah, I completely agree
I
with
understand
Dylan.
that there's trickery there too. Don't get me wrong, but Badoogie is just a lot more dynamic.
Snap up over 2,000. Love you guys. Thank you.
Boom.
Can we get to 3,000? Can we get to I'm always going to ask for more, guys. I'm always going to ask for more. It's just like in life. When you set a goal and you achieve said goal, you don't just then go sit on your couch for the rest of your life. You set higher goals.
Yep.
That's what we're doing here in the YouTube chat. Chen, 600K. Ace, King, Queen 9 with a suit makes it 600K. And Blair is going to call, try and hit something, and if he does, I would guess the money's going in. So here we go.
Yeah, he's under 1 SPR now. He makes anything, and the money is going in. Going to be hard to find a fold.
7-7-5. I mean, Blair's got a gut shot.
Yeah, but this is this is the.
I was
flop that
trying
you
to think
can fold.
positive about this board.
Right.
600.
Chen comes with 600K, and I'm not sure Blair can really do anything here.
Yeah, this is brutal, especially without an ace in your hand. Backdoor diamonds and a front door gut shot with some pair draws. This is the best case scenario he can hope to be in, but it's just not a great spot.
10 seconds.
I can't just fucking flop something.
I agree, brother. We've been watching you in the booth, and you've
come in
missed
the
the
first
last
two?
like 5
place?
hands you've.
3rd in the first one.
You've
and
played.
5th in the second
A little
one.
bit of frustration
fifth?
there for Eric Blair, understandably so. I mean, with the way equities run, too, in PLO, if he even just hits like a 4, you know he's going to put his money in.
Right.
But there, it's just one of the absolute worst flops that Blair could see. He does fold. Still has over 1 million left, but with a big blind of 200K, that's really not the biggest stack right now. Blair is certainly going to want to make something happen, and if you're James Chen, you kind of don't mind that Blair's just hanging around, because
No, it's great.
that just
You-
puts Negreanu and Weisman in an ICM jail cell, and there's nothing that they can do at this moment.
Exactly. Yeah, you wanted him to call pre-flop and then just fold on the flop, especially when you only had ace high. And now Chen just gets to open every button. I mean, this is a hand you're going to open 100% of the time anyways, but I'd be surprised if he had more than 10% of folds.
Ace, King, 10-9 with diamonds for Chen.
600.
He makes it 600. That's been his standard at this level. And Blair finds Jack, Jack, 9-8. So this money's going in.
Thankfully, no choice.
Weissman's out of the way. Chen makes the call, and here we go. Eric Blair's tournament life is on the line here.
Diamonds aren't too good, though.
He is a slight favorite, 53-47 in terms of the percentages
one
here.
ace and 1-9, so it's like.
Good luck.
I feel good about it.
You do?
Really, I really do. I feel great.
You're allowed to always.
Well, Blair feels good. Power of positive thinking.
Bryce
Let's
was lying
go.
Earlier when he said that he felt, I could feel. I was like, "What are you?"
You said it last night, Daniel, and you won it.
Yeah.
And you had kings versus aces.
Yeah.
7-7-4.
Yeah. Just the ace.
Blair still out in front, and the percentage shoots up to 72% for him.
Of diamonds.
Chen's looking for an ace or a king. Six of clubs on the turn.
Ocho. Y as. Y
Did I
opa.
lose?
Ace, king, ace.
Chen can now hit an 8 to make a 10 high straight. Ace, king, or 8, and Eric Blair is out the door. It is the 8 of clubs on the river,
Good game, bro.
Game, Daniel.
and we lose Eric Blair in 4th place. He takes
PLO
home
with the usual
$59,625. Great run from Eric Blair. Really couldn't get much going today, but laddered up a couple of spots to finish in 4th.
It's been a long. It's been a long
And
time.
James Chen soars up to more than
Excellent. Did you see it, Usual Suspects?
$11.5 million.
Old movie?
I have, yeah. I don't really remember, but I know I've seen
Oh,
it.
it's a great movie.
See, this
Oh,
is the issue, this is
Bayashi.
the issue with the 10 stacks is that now you have
Kaiser Soze.
fucking like.
Updated leaderboard
Yeah, I
here,
have to count
presented
them by
by
hand.
PlayPokerGo.com, the home of free online poker.
4.5
James Chen up out on top. He's got more chips than Negreanu and Weisman
He's doing good, he's
combined.
It's got 11 points.
James
doing
Chen
good,
at
you're doing
his
good, kid.
third
Hey, kid, you're doing
consecutive
good.
final table to
Unlike where I'm
open
at
the
compared to how I
PGT
started.
PLO
So,
series.
The short stack.
Honestly, same.
Oh, were you the short? Yeah, you started
we,
the short,
we were
right?
the we were the two shortest.
And me. I'm just here with what I started with.
Yeah.
Knit.
Going back, said it just felt like an 8 was coming when he turned the gutter.
All right, 500.
Brock says gross. Grizzly Glizzy says worst way to lose that.
Yeah, it was just one of those days where he did what he could to fold, ladder up that extra 20 grand, and you know, when it's not your day, it's not your day.
Right.
Chen raised here to 500K. Negreanu defended from the big blind. 6 deuce deuce. A couple of diamonds out there. Negreanu does have diamonds. Chen's going to continue for 325.
Negreanu's in kind of a tough spot here. He can't really afford to lose too many chips to put him back to where Weissman started this hand. So we're going to exercise with caution here.
Negreanu check calls. King of clubs here on the turn. RMX Indiana. See you in the chat saying LFG with the special Daniel Negreanu emoji that you guys can get if you become a YouTube community member. We just passed 2,500 likes on the video.
600.
Also more than 10,000 viewers on YouTube. Let's get us up to 3,000 likes, people. Let's go. And Negreanu check folds the turn. The chip leader putting the pressure on with a 600,000 chip bet there and gets it done. James Chen up to 12.65 million. Joey Ingram in the chat. Hi, Papi. D-Neg's the future PLO MTT end boss, says Joey. What do you mean future? Isn't he just the end boss now? He's at all these darn PLO final tables.
We will.
I heard that later on today in that that PLO mixed cash game, I heard Joey Ingram's going to be joining Remco Rinkema in the booth for some commentary. So if you guys want to listen to Poppy himself Stay tuned for more PLO action, cash game action coming your way on PokerGo later today.
On your face, a big disgrace. Hanging in your hand.
But you don't do hands at 3 players anymore? Oh, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, yeah. Because 2 hands now or 3? 3.
Negreanu limping here with a double suited ace-8-6-5.
You will rock you.
10 seconds.
Cold Rummer, the future is now. That's right. The future is now, baby.
Chen just flops nines full. No big deal. Negreanu does have a flush draw.
When it's your day,
Yeah.
right? You know, sometimes the poker gods just shine on you. Check, check here. 5 of clubs on the turn.
Can Daniel get baited into putting more chips into this pot, drawing completely dead? I think he's going to fire something. Say goodbye to those chips.
300K is the bet from Daniel. Chen makes the call. Cannot lose this pot, of course. 3 of diamonds on the river.
Well, as Daniel, this card is not one we want to bluff. We block the spades that we want Chen to fold, and we block some of the straight draws. It's a really good give up here on the end.
Corky in the chat says, WWJCD, what would Jimmy Chen do? Guest 7 says, Chen running pure. And when you're flopping full houses, yeah, you're running pure. That said, Chen's played extremely well. Not only today, but the entire PGT PLO series. Negreanu's
You don't have a pair. But
counting things and
you do,
check
you have a
folds. CJ Hahn said, not like this, Daniel. Well, don't worry, he check folded there.
That's the fairest number, but the one I didn't want to see was 3. You have 3.5 now, right, Daniel?
Yep.
Okay, 3.6. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
3.6, yep.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, there's no clear-cut last place here, so both of these players are not really happy with the situation that they're in. I think Dylan is more ICM aware when it comes to laddering up and the financial future of his family, as he referred to earlier. Whereas Daniel is just going to play for maximum chips and try to win the tournament.
10 seconds.
When it's your day, it's your day. Aces for Chen in the small blind here.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen aces.
It really has been.
10 seconds.
Oh, and kings for Dylan. Oh my gosh, this is it, boys. Buckle up. Pot, all in call. Off to the races. 30% for Dylan Weissman here.
Nice pot.
1.8.
Chen's been really good with his balancing timing tells act.
Wow.
Chen 4 bets. Weisman puts his money in. Asks Chen if he has aces. Chen shows the aces. And James Chen is 70% here to take out Dylan Weisman and get this to heads-up play against Daniel Negreanu. Weisman's going to need some help if he wants to survive. Negreanu, of course, a very interested onlooker here. If Weisman finds something to double up here, it's going to knock Negreanu down to the bottom, and there'll be a considerable short stack, so keep that in mind as well. 9-5-5. Not really anything there for Weisman. 85% now for Chen to hold on with these aces. Ace of spades on the turn, and that's going to do it for Dylan Weisman. We lose him in third place. $79,500 for Weisman.
Still here.
And we are now down to heads-up play. James Chen versus Daniel Negreanu.
Okay, do your thing.
I was down to 115K at 40K big blind.
Yeah. PLO, it can happen. Sure.
Want to play online poker for free? With PlayPokerGo, you get the thrill of authentic poker anytime, anywhere. From quick casual games to action-packed tournaments, PlayPokerGo lets you compete against real players around the globe, all for free. No bots, no gimmicks, just pure poker fun. Hone your skills and enjoy the poker experience you love. Explore PlayPokerGo on web, iOS, and Android. Deal yourself in now.
And we are back. Heads up. James Chen on your left, Daniel Negreanu on your right. These two, the final two players from a 159 entry field here in event number 3 of the PGT PLO series. They're playing for that trophy. They're playing for a $182,000 first place prize.
If I don't, then I think I'll stay.
James Chen is going to be moving to the top of the series leaderboard no matter where he finishes here today.
Someone needs someone at the end to try to take someone down.
Well, that's the thing.
I'll take bribes to try to come back.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if I'm doing good and you're not here, you know, increases my chance at extra 500.
Sure, for sure, yeah. But I mean, these small ones still aren't.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
But still, these are like with the field being 160. This is what those are going to pay ish.
I mean, I have 3 scores already, so it's like I'm going to be pretty far up there.
But yeah, the other ones weren't that big, right? Just like a 5th and a 3rd. Well, the 3rd was okay.
It was like 80 something points and 50 something points, I think.
Yeah.
Chen begins with a big chip lead, heads up. Negreanu's firing pot on this one. Ace, Jack, Jack 7, King, Queen, 9, 7 with a suit for Chen.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see a flop here. Negreanu under 20 big blinds. The money is very easily going in here if both players flop something.
Chen's in there. Ace, 3 deuce, all clubs. Negreanu well out in front here. Chen checks. 400K from Negreanu.
Very standard small bet sizing on all flush boards because the equities run so far away. You can accomplish so much with small bet sizes.
And Negreanu takes the first hand of heads up play. Don't forget to hit that like button out there if you're watching on the PokerGo YouTube channel. We are approaching 3,000 likes. Let's get up over 3,000 before this tournament finishes. I have no idea when it's going to end. It could end on the next hand. It could take 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. Who the heck knows? But hit that thumbs up. Let's go. Also subscribe to the PokerGo YouTube channel, please. We are bringing you plenty of free poker content.
Yeah, of course. I understand what you just play the game, but they play like...
Including later today, a special PLO mix cash game. Remco Rinkema, my normal colleague, will be on the call for that one. Joey Ingram, PLO Poppy himself, will be joining Remco in the booth for that cash game. You do see the introduction of those cherry-colored chips. Those are 500K a piece. Let us know who you guys are rooting for. I'm guessing a lot of you, the majority of you, are rooting for D-Negs as he goes for his 11th PGT title. But I know we got some James Chen fans out there, so let us hear it. Negreanu checking the 7-4-3 flop here. A couple of clubs out there. Chen fires, 350K.
Not really too much going on for Daniel here. Not even a gut shot. Does decide to let it go. We did see an increase in the blinds this last hand, 125K, 250K, which puts Daniel back below 20 big blinds to start the last hand, even shorter now.
Hey, you really ran hot. I thought Dylan was going to wait me out to get heads up, but then he picked up the kings, nothing he can do.
Yeah.
James Chen finished 3rd place in event number 1 of this series, 5th place in event number 2 that took place yesterday, and now here he is
I had 9-5.
heads up with a
that's how
big
the last
chip
one
lead
ended,
in
3-1.
event number 3.
Yeah.
So 3
I mean, I
final
didn't have a very good
tables
hand, obviously.
to open up the PGT PLO series for James Chen. Really incredible stuff out of him. He is an experienced player when it comes to 4-card. Both PLO high and PLO high-low. Has plenty of tournament cashes on his resume. Always seems to make a final table or a deep run in a PLO event at the World Series of Poker every single summer. So if this is the first time you're hearing of James Chen, it's not going to be your last. I can guarantee you that. He is a very, very, very tough player when it comes to Omaha.
Yeah, he
Have you
flops
played with James Chen?
pretty much the world here. Yeah, many times in mostly PLO 8 tournaments. Very, very tough player.
Upcoming 2025 PGT events. April 7th, $560 satellite to the first event of the U.S. Poker Open. That will be held at the Aria Poker Room. We have the U.S. Poker Open April 8th through 17th. We got the Texas Poker Open. And then this summer, the World Series of Poker, and the schedule features 30 PGT events. Full schedule and details available at pgt.com/schedule.
You live up there too?
Would highly encourage everyone to play that $560 satellite to the U.S. Poker Open. Not everyone, myself included, can just fire $5K into the opening event of the series, but a lot of us can fire $560 and get in there for cheap. The satellites have been on fire all season long. Tons and tons of seats are being given out, so come give it a shot. April 7th at Aria Poker.
I played the PLO satellite twice.
Yeah.
Didn't
Big
work.
field for that one, though, right?
Got like 100.
Yeah,
It was
exactly. I
awesome.
mean, they've been nuts, these satellites. Another pot here, 1.75 out there. Chen made it 750K to go. Negreanu called, bringing us to the Jack 10-5 rainbow. Check, check. 7 on the turn. Chen flopped the best hand, but Negreanu finds a 7 for a set of 7s here.
750.
And he comes with 750,000.
Yeah, what a turn of events. The equities have just shifted. Daniel was only looking for a 7 exactly to take over the pair of 10s from Chen. Chen does have a gut shot and a pair. Little does he know that making 2 pairs no good for him. We have a 9 blocking 8-9. Does call.
3.25 in the middle.
This might be over if we can find exactly that card on the river.
Diamonds on the river.
Oh my gosh, this might be over right now. SPR of 0.5. 2 million back for Daniel. Do we go for value with our set of 7s? Does check. Can he find the fold when Chen does jam? Oh, what a roller coaster hand. The equities just shifted and then shifted and then shifted again.
Chen does bet all of it.
Wow,
and Negreanu with a quick fold there.
He's just going to fold the flop.
Well done by Daniel. Does not get sticky because we know it would have cost him his tournament. Left with 2 million, but still some fighting chips. 8 big blinds for Negreanu.
Has Daniel used a single time extension this entire series?
Yeah, really lucky then.
I mean, if he's folding that quickly, heads up with a set, I don't think there's any world where he has to make any big decisions and will use time bank chips.
Listen, when you know, you know. When you know you're beat, you know. Of course, you know the board was pretty scary there. Yes. So.
Yeah, for sure. He did just know. Daniel very, very short now. Down to 8 big blinds. Does know that in PLO with the big blind ante, you're always getting the right price to at least limp from the button to try and see a cheap flop. I mean, neither player really loves this flop. I think Chen is just going to going to get the check mark here. And then next hand, Daniel has to put 500K into the middle. All right. Gut shot for Daniel. Some backdoors.
Queen here on the turn.
Make that a double gut shot. Chen only has one pair. Can Daniel represent something here? We don't have very many chips to work with. Our SPR is just over 1.
1.250.
Wow.
Negreanu comes with it here.
It's
A
just
pot size bet, 1.25 million. Very much committing himself. And Chen with the quick fold there. Negreanu gets it through.
Those instincts are awesome. That was so cool to watch. He just outplayed Chen. I mean, yeah, Chen didn't have very much to go with, but he could have just folded the flop, waited for another moment where he actually had some equity in the hand. But no, he said, I'm going to use some of my chips to my advantage on a later street, and took down a pot to give him back to 13 big blinds.
And great instincts on back-to-back hands. The last hand, you know, that quick fold on the river, saving his tournament, and then there, pouncing with the bet, taking it down. So,
yeah,
Negreanu fighting.
Very impressive play from Daniel. Heads up, just understanding.
We are heads up here from a 159 entry field. First place, $182,850. Second place is what these guys have locked up, $115,275, as Chen raises on the button. Ace, King, Jack 10. Negreanu's not going to play the 7-5-5 deuce.
Yeah, when you already have 20% of your stack in the middle, it's so disheartening to fold to a single pot size raise, knowing that you're probably getting the required 33% equity to continue in the hand, but a hand like 7-5-5 deuce is not the one we want to go with. Chen should be putting on a lot of pressure here. Not a very pretty hand for Daniel, but you're definitely getting the equity to at least call, try to see a cheap flop. Chen will punish once again, waking up with the better of the hand, heads up.
10 seconds.
Negreanu trying to limp in here. Chen comes with a raise to 750. Daniel calls.
Yeah, now you only have to call 500K to win a pot of 1.75 million. You're definitely getting the equity, so SPR less than 1 could go in at any moment.
Ace, 8-4. Chen very much the best of it here, connecting with that ace.
Yeah, Daniel shouldn't have very many aces in his range that just limp called.
Nothing.
Oh boy. And now Daniel has to put in a third of his stack. Pre-flop, 500,000 is what it cost him out of his 1.5 million. Very incentivized for Chen to just raise the pot, basically blind here, unless he has 3 of a kind in his hand, and just run the equities. Even with a hand like this, I mean, it probably should just be pot all in call and see who wins.
10 seconds.
Nope. Decides.
Badugi.
Decides otherwise.
So Daniel's still fighting here, but it's really been all James Chen early on in this heads-up match. Negreanu's on just over 1.6 million. So right around 6.5 big blinds for him. That said, it's PLO. This thing could swing pretty quickly. Yesterday, Billy Tarango versus Stephen Hubbard. You know, there was a massive chip lead for Tarango to start. Hubbard fought all the way back to close the gap quite nicely. Ultimately, Tarango did come out on top, yes, but that one turned into quite a long match after what we thought was going to be pretty quick heads up. And, you know, that's to say here, Daniel could certainly fight back and get this thing much closer to even.
Even the last time we saw Daniel play heads up, he was against Schulman in the dealer's choice, and he was calling PLO every time it was on him to make a game decision. And we saw a 15-1 chip lead get back to even. We know anything can happen in the great game of PLO.
Daniel back up over 2 million now with taking that pot pre-flop on the last one.
Yeah, if we saw Chen fold the last hand, this one's going to be a fold as well. Okay, I'm just wrong. Everything I say, James Chen just does the opposite.
Ace Jack 7-3 here for Daniel.
Sticking with his signature small ball style. He does have a hand that is a contender to go all in. 1.75 in the middle, 1.1 behind.
Jack 8-7, 2 pair for Daniel, pair of 8s for Chen. Chen was the aggressor. He is in position. Of course, he's the big chip leader. If he wanted to, he could just put Daniel all in here.
I think that's what's going to happen.
And there it is. And Daniel calls it off. Here we go.
Have a good hand.
Daniel Negreanu all in with his tournament life on the line. Currently has the best of it, and he's 77% to double up. A queen or an 8 is what James Chen is looking for to get the trophy.
You have to hit a queen or an 8.
To hit the buffalo.
Let's hear it, chat. Who you rooting for? I got a guess, but I want to ask anyway.
We know everyone in chat wants this game to continue.
5 of diamonds on the turn. Daniel now up to 88%. Chen needs 1 of 5 outs. A queen or an 8 here on the river. If he finds it, he'll win. If not, Daniel doubles. It is the Jack of Clubs, full house for Dean Eggs. And he doubles up to 4 million. We fight on.
You got it. Hanging around, hanging around.
And if you haven't already, now you have to hit that like button. You have to hit the thumbs up because we got more poker.
It'll be much more interesting now that Daniel's out of the danger zone and can actually try to navigate some pots post-flop.
Yeah, Daniel's able to maneuver now with 16 big blinds, so quite a bit healthier. And in a pot limit format like this, you know, 16 big blinds is pretty healthy overall. James Chen, of course, still extremely healthy himself, just shy of 16 million and about a 4-1 chip lead here. Daniel's going to raise here on the button. Queen Jack 9-8 with a suit. 10-5 deuce deuce for Chen. Probably going to hit the muck, but like you, I'm just going to hold back on guessing what James Chen's going to do there. It does hit the muck.
Mine was not.
Daniel Negreanu is going for his 11th career PGT title. A win would move Daniel into 7th on the season-long leaderboard. James Chen is going to move into the top spot on the series leaderboard for this PGT PLO series. He has opened this series with 3 consecutive final tables, a 3rd, a 5th, and now at least a 2nd place finish here, if not a win. And Negreanu finds aces and fires back with a pot-sized re-raise here. Chen raised on the button with 9-8-6-6 with a suit.
Yep.
Daniel's got ace, ace, jack, 7 with hearts. Chen gives it up. And Daniel gives him a little nod, shows the red aces. A little bit of a smirk there from Chen. And DNeg's up over 5 million now. Incredible one. Live from Bangladesh, I see you, one of our regulars. Thanks for hopping in there.
Aces back to back for Daniel.
Ace, ace, king 5 this time.
Pot.
750 announced. Kings for Chen. King, king, 5 deuce. Is he going to try and end it right here?
He has to. There's no other way around this. This money is going in pre-flop, and then we're going to see if Chen can hit his 25%. Chen does have a live suit in clubs, but sharing the 5 is so bad.
And he pots it. Negreanu pots it back. And this money is going to... Well, Chen hasn't called you. I thought he was going to snap it off.
I mean...
He's just going to kind of verify that it's not, you know, like 8 million or something crazy. And there is the call.
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back aces for Daniel Negreanu, and he's in an incredible spot here against the kings of James Chen.
Generally speaking.
If Daniel survives here, not only will he double up, he will take the chip lead in this heads-up match.
You know?
I don't, but I don't like my chance.
You're not. You're definitely an underdog, but it's Omaha, so anything can happen.
No, this is as probably
Pretty dead, right? Well, you have a
80,
suit.
80-20 maybe.
Negreanu is
Having a
3-1
suit.
here, 75% to win this hand.
Yeah.
Jack 7-3, 2 spades, but those spades do not matter. Negreanu now 91%. He's just got a hold. Queen of spades. Just one out because Negreanu has the king of diamonds in his hand. Six of diamonds, and Daniel Negreanu secures the double up and shoots up into the chip lead here.
Just like that.
It's PLO. Win a couple and boom, boom.
Yeah, kind of a deflating feeling for James Chen, but that's what he was doing to everyone else before this heads-up match. Daniel just showing so much restraint and patience and getting rewarded. I mean, if the hands were reversed, obviously the money's all going in and the tournament's over, but that's the nature of poker and especially PLO.
And boys and girls, we got a game. Daniel Negreanu up out on top, 10,750,000. James Chen not too far behind, 9,125,000. Leaderboard presented by PlayPokerGo, the home of free online poker. Check it out today, playpokergo.com. These players are fighting for a $182,000 first place prize. They've both locked up $115,000. James Chen with a nice looking double suited king, queen, jack 4, pots it on the button. Daniel just folds the jack 8, 6, 3.
Not insignificant to pick up an extra 500K from Chen. Each player with about 40 big blinds now.
1.125 was down to?
Tons of play.
Yeah. That was all in for 1.125 the first one.
Yeah, but I mean, you called something pre-flop, I think, right? Maybe, I don't remember.
Something like that.
We are streaming every final table from the PGT PLO series.
Yeah.
I still won, so I'm hoping for the same
I
result.
had the same with Nick Schulman, 9.4 out of 9.7, and then he got even, and then I won.
That was a fun one, Daniel versus Nick. Negreanu limping here, 10-6, 10-9, 6-3, excuse me. Chen's going to check the jack 7 3 deuce. Feel like it's been a while since we've seen a limped pot go to a flop here.
Yeah, stack sizes definitely allow for more post-flop play.
King, Jack, Deuce with a couple of diamonds. Jacks and deuces for Chen. Negreanu just whiffing here. Has a gutter to a straight. Just going to put his hand in the muck. And Chen takes that one, and I mean, they're just about even. 9.875 for Chen. 10 million even for Daniel Negreanu. Anyone's game.
Yeah, I think we'll see fewer fireworks with these stack sizes being so close. We don't have a Jesse Lonis, you know, type figure at the table to just pot.
Yeah, they're both pretty deep, effectively 40 big blinds here.
And we have seen both players employ the small ball strategy.
As I was saying, we are streaming every final table from the PGT PLO series, so do subscribe to the PokerGO YouTube channel so you can get notifications as to when those videos drop, plus plenty of highlights coming out every single day, not only from this PGT PLO series, but High Stakes Poker, No Gamble, No Future, our new show, Cash Flow. We got WSOP stuff dropping all the time, so it's free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You guys should do it. Highly encouraged.
Yeah, tons and tons of videos, free content available on the YouTube channel. Definitely worth listening to. Some of them you'll get to hear my voice.
Nick Rigby in the chat says, Lego Chen, shout out Pittsburgh. There you go, Rigby.
Nice.
Supporting his fellow Yinzer, I guess.
I don't think I knew what that term meant until I met Berkey.
Yeah. Negreanu limps on the button here, Jack 7, 4-4. Ace, Jack, 8, deuce for Chen. Chen suited to the ace. 9, 8, 5. Hearts working for Chen. $350.
Just a blocker to 6-7, blocker to 10 Jack.
Daniel comes along.
Yeah, I think this is designed to probably take it away on a future street, not I have enough equity to continue. Now we can credibly represent the Jack 10 in Daniel's shoes.
Queen of diamonds here on the turn. Let's see how Chen proceeds.
We were talking earlier about Daniel having the capability of running pretty big bluffs. That Jack of Hearts in Chen's hand is so good for him. He decides not to give Daniel some rope to let him hang himself. Just try to deny as much equity as we can with the Jack of Hearts.
Yeah, well done by Chen there to continue firing on the turn. And with that pot, he moves himself back into the chip lead, just shy of 11 million for James Chen. Negreanu, 8.9 million.
You're playing the next one though, right?
Yeah. I'll play today in the PKO.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then Sunday's an off day.
I might even go and come back because we're playing like Sunday, Monday, I think, and then
Yeah.
come back Tuesday maybe.
Do that. Skip one.
Couple of jacks here, along with the 8-5 for Chen.
Check.
He limps in. King, Queen, 9-7. Badoogie for Negreanu. Queen 8-6.
Really good flop for Negreanu with the top pair. Open under, 76% equity.
9 on the turn. Now 2 pair for Daniel. Queens and 9s.
Chen double blocking Jack 10 with his pair of jacks and blocking the 5 for the lower end of the straight. Negreanu's not going to go anywhere with top 2 and a 7 also blocking the straight.
Bet of 350 here from Chen. Daniel comes along. Three of diamonds on the river, so Daniel's got the check mark if he can get this one to showdown. He checks.
Chen has to decide here if his jacks have any showdown capability, or if he wants to continue representing Jack 10 for the nuts on this board. We have seen him in the past just err on the side of caution.
Chen does check it back. Daniel shows the queen nine for 2 pair, and he collects that pot. Closing the gap, but Chen still in the lead here. I believe we heard the tournament staff there say 1 more hand until the blinds will go up. One of our guest viewers in the PokerGO chat saying, do the announcers read the chat or only the YouTube chat? No, I see you. Ask a question.
Someone very famous once said, hit me with your best shots.
There you go.
Daniel's still continuing with his small ball strategy. Definitely worth raising if he's interested with a king, queen, 10, 9 on the button.
King, 9, 8. Could be a bit troublesome here for Chen. Limped pot, he flops top pair. Daniel has top 2 pair, also a straight draw. Chen does have backdoor clubs and backdoor hearts. Backdoor hearts the better of the 2. Negreanu comes with 250K.
Yeah, way too much hand to fold here. Unfortunately, we do only have 15% equity.
Chen check calling. 6 of diamonds on the turn.
Very interesting. Chen could credibly represent a straight with his 2 7s. Wonder if he decides to come with lead, which he does. He doesn't have to bet too much, maybe half pot.
$750K from Chen.
Does
60% pot.
Yep.
Daniel's got one of those hands that certainly too good to fold, probably not good enough to raise and just, you know, try and get the money in. So comes along with a call. 3 of spades on the river. Daniel still very much with the best of it. Let's see if Chen comes with a bet that, you know, one of those blocker bets where he wants to kind of control the size of the pot, or if he just comes pretty hefty.
No, he's reaching with both hands.
2.1 million.
Daniel did see he just gave up on the last hand with his bluff. We have a 10 in our hand blocking the nut straight being 7-10. We have to ask ourselves, what exactly does the 6 change on the turn? Oh, we'll see Daniel use a time extension here. Wasn't sure.
Might use all of them.
Yeah. Going through all the permutations of what exactly the 6 of diamonds changes on the turn, because if we didn't have the best hand on the flop, we would have heard about it on the flop.
10 seconds.
Daniel deep in the tank here. We can see that he has the best of it.
This would actually be a really, really awesome call. If you can use some white magic and suss out the bluff from Chen. I think that's a you got it type of thing.
And Negreanu gives up the best hand. Chen pulls off a big bluff there.
It's really hard for Daniel to find the call there. We've seen Chen shy away from thin value. We've seen Chen shy away from making that exact same bluff in the previous hand. It's so hard to put on the cape and make the hero call. Also, props to Chen for turning his top pair of kings into a bluff with the 2 7s. He got exactly what he wanted from Daniel to fold 2 pairs.
The only hand I beat was pair of 7s.
That's what I had.
Huh?
That's what I had.
Yeah, pair of 7s.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of players would just take the kings to showdown
Well, actually, I had a king.
instead of trying to get Daniel to fold some sort of two pair.
I had a big hand.
Yeah, well done by Chen there. You know, recognized the situation correctly, applied the blocker effect of those 2 sevens, and went for it. Got it done. He's now up to 11.625 million, stretching out a little bit of a lead once again. Negreanu still healthy, 8.25 million, as we are now playing a 300K big blind. Chen limping the button here, 7-7-5 deuce. Daniel checks the jack 8-7-4. King jack 8. Negreanu assumes the lead with 2 pair, jacks and 8s. Check, check. 8 on the turn. That fills up Daniel. Brings in a flush draw for Chen, and if he checks back with that flush draw, could be a fun river card.
True. He is going to go for a little blocker type bet. Get Daniel to fold out a lot of hands that haven't beat that contain equity. Obviously, Daniel's not going anywhere. Daniel knows or doesn't know it, but he wants a 7 on the river. 1 outer for the full double.
9 on the river.
As we see here, Chen does not have the blocker properties that he had.
You have an 8?
I had a card I could lose a lot of money with.
Yeah.
Check, check there on the end, and Negreanu's going to collect that pot and narrow that gap once again. Heads up here in event number 3 of the PGT PLO series. Thank you everyone who is tuning in across PokerGO, the PokerGO YouTube channel, Twitter, and everywhere else. We are coming to you live from the PokerGO studio on the Las Vegas Strip.
What's that?
Said the card I was calling for in my head.
Oh, you had a full house draw?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd just be dead.
For those of you watching on the PokerGO YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up, throw us a like on the video, and then don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified every time we go live, every time we drop a highlight video or a special clip. We have a ton of poker content, especially live, coming to you for the foreseeable future. PLO action will continue later this evening with a special cash game. It's a PLO mix cash game here on PokerGO. Remco Rinkema will be on the call. I was told Joe Ingram, Mr. PLO himself, will be in the commentary booth for that one, so be sure to tune in. But for now, we're going to continue to watch Daniel Negreanu go for his 11th career PGT title. He's up against James Chen, who has been on fire. Blazing hot start to the PGT PLO series. He's made the final table of the first 3 events, a 3rd, a 5th, and now whatever happens here, Chen will be the front runner on the PGT PLO series leaderboard. Going forward, player to top that leaderboard is the series champion and collects the $10,000 PGT passport. Everything PGT can be found on pgt.com, including live reporting for events. All right, hopefully we're back and we skipped forward those small technical issues. Apologies for that.
Like dead even?
You like probably got me, I'm assuming. I have 8.
Well, you have like 10 and 10 almost.
9.3. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, we're about like the same.
It's close though, yeah.
That last hand we saw Negreanu check raise the flop with a pair of aces and retakes the chip lead.
One time.
I think the reason why the stream crashed is that we haven't gotten more than 4,000 likes on YouTube. Like that's the problem. People not hitting the like button.
Probably true.
You
I
know,
mean, YouTube's like
YouTube is powered by likes.
Right.
Doesn't everyone know that? It's powered by likes and it's powered by subscribers to the channel. Now, we do apologize for that, but I do see the viewership numbers flying right back up, so hopefully everyone is back with us. Negreanu's back up out on top here. Small chip lead for him as we continue to go back and forth in this heads-up battle, event number 3, PGT PLO series. My name is Donnie Peters. I have Kevin Gerhart alongside of me. Thank you, everyone who is tuning in. Let us know where you're watching from. I know we've asked a couple times already today, but we have a whole bunch new viewers that are coming in, so let us know where you're watching from. And if you are experiencing a little bit of a lower quality when you refresh the video, just hit the gearbox, change the resolution. You should be able to adjust it to HD high definition so you can see the beautiful faces of James Chen and Daniel Negreanu as best as possible.
Yeah, remember the days of watching things in like 360?
No, I don't.
Just blacked out of your mind.
I mean, I
It's
do,
not-
but I would like to forget those days, of course.
It's absolutely insane. How do people, watch black and white TVs back in the day compared to where we are now? So
Chen check calls here for 300K. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we do have a small pot developing here. Chen was the button and limped pre, and Negreanu led the flop, and Chen called from the button.
500.
Chen actually picks up one of the best cards in the deck for his hand.
Yeah, this could be an action driver too, because Negreanu probably feels, oh, club's a great card for me. I got 7-6 of clubs. Like, this is a good spot. But of course, we can see how close these equities are. 60-40. Negreanu betting 500K.
1.6.
Check raise from James Chen makes it 1.6 million. And what do you do if you're Daniel Negreanu? Certainly deep enough, you could just call. Do you take the aggressive approach and come back over the top?
Yeah, it is really interesting to try and figure out what Chen is representing from Negreanu's shoes.
10 seconds.
Does call. Open ender, flush draw, which is no good, and top pair good enough for Daniel to continue. 60-40 here. 4.7 million in the middle.
9 of diamonds comes in on the river. 4.7 million out there. Negreanu has the best hand, 100%. We have seen James Chen pull off a big bluff before in this heads-up play. Does he have it in him again?
It's so weird because Negreanu has everything in his hand that he wants Chen to be bluffing with. If Chen can pull off something like
2.8,
like 3 million is what I was going to say.
2.8 million announced. Can Daniel find the call? He folded last time. Chen had a big bluff.
And Chen told Daniel that he had a bluff on the last time. Can he pull off 2 big bluffs in a row, or can Daniel sniff out that he's capable? Oh my gosh.
He comes right back, and a snap fold out of James Chen. Daniel fires right back. And Daniel was bluffing there, okay?
He was bluffing with the best hand.
Bluffing with the best hand, yes, but Daniel was bluffing. And I was just about to ask you, Kevin, I was about to say, is there any chance Daniel fires back with a bluff of his own? Now, we know he has the best hand, but he doesn't necessarily know that.
Right, yeah, and he definitely turned his hand into a bluff and was so happy to see the snap fold from James with that hand. Let's go, everyone in chat.
And you saw the little flex there from Daniel afterwards. Chat's going nuts, understandably so. And Daniel Negreanu up over 15 million, the biggest lead he has had. Negreanu going for his 11th PGT title.
Man, two wizards just truly going at it. No one having much of anything. This is some true power poker right here.
Dewey on PokerGo says, woo woo. Easy Yo Bro says, that was clean. Fetty, let's go. Guess 7, D-Negs is him for real. E. Smith, very 6. Another come on, Daniel. I see you, PokerGo chat. Thank you guys for tuning in, no matter where you're tuning in from. Just past 4 o'clock here in Las Vegas, which means we've just passed the 3-hour mark of this final table. Appreciate everyone who has tuned in from the start. Also appreciate all the new viewers who may be popping in now, as we got D-Negs 3-1. Heads up here for the title, event number 3, first place, just under 183,000. James Chen at his 3rd consecutive PGT PLO Series final table.
900.
It's been a great day, absolutely great day. 900K from James Chen on the button with a couple of queens in his hand, double suited as well. Negreanu's double suited with the other 2 suits. 9-8-7 deuce for D-Negs. Here we go. 10-5-4 with a couple of clubs. Negreanu's got clubs. He's got a gutter to a straight.
Chen has a 5 backdoor spades and an overpair. I mean, the equities are so close here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a check raise here out of Daniel. I think Chen needs to bet this to preserve his perceived equity with an overcard. There's just so many scary cards on the turn that
1.8.
don't allow us to bet. Yes, this might be it here.
Chen comes with 1.8 million, a very, very hefty bet. He's got 2.3 million behind. Daniel could just put this in and they would run it. Daniel comes with a call. 5.7 million in the middle now.
Yeah, call here is so nice because you get to
7 on the turn.
You get to make a more informed decision when it comes to the turn. I would really like to see Daniel just open jam here. There's only 2.3 left, 5.7 in the middle. He does find the open jam. Chen with
a little bit of a pump fake.
Snap
double
call.
Checks his cards. Here we go.
Could be over. Let us know in chat who you want to win. Let's go.
Negreanu has 23 outs. You see them at the top of the screen, stretched all the way from left to right.
Everything's live for you.
Yeah, so I need a 6, 7.
He's trying to
8,
count all the way up to 23.
Jack, deuce, club. That's a few. That's a few.
A lot of cards.
That's a few there, Paul.
What do you think? King of diamonds?
All Chen has to do is just fade 23 outs and he'll double up. That's it. Not a big ask.
Right. Negreanu with 1 pair has more equity than Chen, who has an overpair.
Wow.
River card is the ace of spades, and somehow, some way, James Chen fades 23 outs that Negreanu had, and he's going to double up, and he's going to take the chip lead.
2.
Wow, what a battle.
7, 5.
What a match this has been. James Chen, Daniel Negreanu, blow for blow, back and forth. This is what you love to see.
Not only are both players just coming up with really awesome bluffs,
What crazy.
we're really seeing
Like,
just
oh, baby.
massive
I didn't saw your hand, you didn't
pots.
have a club either. I was like, let's go.
What up? We're at 3-3.
What's that?
James Chen on 10,250,000. Negreanu pretty close behind, 9,625,000. And here we go.
Deuce, 6, 7,
Continue
8,
to
9.
fight on.
Jack and a club. I don't know. It's a lot.
Rule of too many
I think it's
outs,
more than
Kevin. Rule of too many outs.
that's
never
That's how it
comes.
is. You hit when you have 4 outs. You miss when you have 23.
Yeah,
That's just how it is in
That's more
poker.
than half what could be.
it is more than half, Daniel.
These players are playing for a $182,000 first place prize. They've locked up $115,000. Negreanu raising the pot. Queen, Jack, 9-7, double suited. King 10-4-4 for Chen, just finds the muck. And with that pot, Negreanu is back out in front. Back and forth we go. I know Negreanu always talks about his love for Rocky. He always watches the Rocky movies when he enters the World Series of Poker. I mean, this is like a heavyweight boxing match right here. Blow for blow. You know, we're in the 12th round right now. These guys are just swinging back and forth. Might feel like they have a little bit of less gas left in the tank, but they're still there. They're still fighting for the title.
I think that was the first time we saw Daniel open raise to the size of the pot from the button, with these stacks being so close.
600.
Right, 600. Call.
And then Chen doing something we haven't seen yet, a min raise.
Yeah, normally it's been just your standard 3x on the button. But
Right.
here he does come with the min raise. Queen, 7-6 with a couple of hearts. Top pair for Chen.
$600.
700.
700. Negreanu has some stuff. He's got a pair. He's got a gut shot. Side's better of it.
Just check folds there, and now we got James Chen back into the chip lead.
Yep.
Back and forth we go. This is the third event of the PGT PLO series. Heads up play in this one. We still have 7 more final tables from this series coming your way on PokerGo and on the PokerGo YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the PokerGo YouTube channel so you never miss a moment from the PokerGo tour.
Another Badoogie for Negreanu.
Daniel limping in. Similar sort of hand here. 10-7-5-3 for Chen. 10 high, kind of connected. Chen does have diamonds in his hand. 7-6 deuce rainbow.
You definitely see a little bit of action here. Both players flopping a little bit of something, something. Chen decides to lead out of the big blind.
Call.
Quick call from Daniel.
1.5 million in the middle. 6 of diamonds on the turn. Daniel with trip 6s. Another diamond for Chen.
Both players still have straight draws. Chen going to continue more small betting. Is Daniel afraid of much here? Or is he just going to continue small ball? Call, evaluate on rivers.
There is the call. Pot now 2.3 million. Deuce of hearts on the river. Check mark to Negreanu. How does Chen want to proceed here?
Probably just hope to get to showdown and pray that your 7 is somehow good. Although if you try to get to showdown with a pair of 7s here and Daniel can't beat it, he's going to try to bluff and take the pot away. So you're putting yourself in a pretty precarious situation with Chen where you have showdown that you want to just be able to turn your cards over.
Chen's check is met with a bet of 1.25 million from Negreanu, and Chen probably doesn't like that he has diamonds. You know, kind of a hand that you want your opponent to maybe float with some backdoor diamonds and then bluff them on the river.
Yeah, we don't have an 8 or a 9 in our hand, blocking some of the straight draws that Negreanu could have. Tough spot to call here with just one pair. We lose to all over pairs somehow if Daniel decided he was going to bet those on the river.
Well, he's got the chips to call in his hand. Will he throw them in? He shoots a look over to Daniel, and Chen's going to pay off this bet here. Daniel announces a 6, shows it, and Negreanu back into the lead and stretching out a gap. 11.875 million for him, knocking Chen down to 8 million. It's been a couple of jabs back and forth between these two, but that was a big right hook from Daniel Negreanu.
Yeah, we continuously see the momentum shifting in this heads-up battle, and Daniel with that pot definitely has the momentum on his side. Still 150, 300 here, so Chen, you know, still under 30 big blinds, but plenty of chips to work with.
10 seconds.
Call.
Limped pot here, 900K out there. 8-4 deuce with a couple of clubs.
I mean, both players like this flop. They both flop top pair. Chen with top 2 pair. Wonder how he wants to proceed here against a lead from Negreanu. Does have the jack of clubs in his hand, blocking some flush draws.
1.2.
10 seconds.
And there is a raise from Chen. Powering through with that 2 pair.
Yeah, Negreanu has 3 overs to the 4, which would improve him to a higher 2 pair.
And Daniel's going to come along here. This pot balloons up over 3 million now. 7 of clubs on the turn.
Check.
Really interesting card. That's not one of the cards you want to see as Chen, even though we do have the jack of clubs blocker. We could bet here and might be able to take it down, or we could try to get our hand to showdown. If we check here and the board doesn't change, Negreanu is incentivized to bluff. We have to put ourselves into another situation. Daniel does make the straight on the end.
The 5 comes home for Daniel. He makes a 9 high straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Now Daniel going for value here.
1.2 million. A little bit over 1/3 pot. And Chen with a tough decision here. Last time he paid off Daniel when Daniel had the 3 6s. Can he find the fold here? And he does, and didn't take too long to do it. Good discipline from James Chen.
Yeah, very quick fold.
And Daniel Negreanu stretches out his chip lead further. 2-1 now in favor of D-Negs. He's up over 13 million.
I think both players are still playing very well. You know, if I were in Chen's shoes, you know, I might get a little flustered from losing such big equity spots to take down the title. But he's still making pretty reasonable decisions. Both players still playing small ball, not wanting to put too much variance into their poker game, thinking that they can just grind out the opponent. You know, like I said, we've only seen Daniel pot from the button 1 time with these stacks. I think he's going to do it again here. This is definitely the hand you want to do it with. Can Chen find anything to compete?
King 10, 6-4 here for Chen, facing that pot-sized raise on the button from Negreanu.
Not a very enticing hand.
And Chen gives it up, and Negreanu stretches out his lead further. Second time during this heads-up match that we have seen Daniel stretch out a pretty sizable chip lead. He is approaching as big of a lead as he had before. So chat, let us know. Is Daniel going to close it out and secure his 11th PGT title? What do you think? What do you think?
Both players look really excited to be here. They're just chomping at the bit.
I mean, it's a grind, man.
It
You've been
really
here.
is.
Like, I know people sort of joke, poker's a sport, it's not a sport, this and that. It is mentally taxing, and it can be very tired. These guys have been playing for, you know, more than 3 hours. They've already been playing 3 long days of poker at this series.
Right.
You know, James Chen has been at every final table so far, so he's putting in the hours.
He's got like the maximum amount of hours. Yeah, it's quite impressive to watch. You know, all day, every day. It really is such a grind. Daniel really waking up with it in the last couple of hands.
Negreanu coming with the pot-sized raise here. Ace, King, 9-8. Very pretty, double suited. Chen just going to check fold there. As expected, plenty of people saying yes, Daniel's going to close it out, but a few Chen fans out there in the mix. Love to see it. If you'd like to play some fun and free online poker, deal yourself in at playpokergo.com. Guys, did you hear me? Free online poker. Playpokergo.com, available on web, iOS, and Android. Find it on all of your favorite devices, on your computers, wherever. Playpokergo.com. Get in there. Completely free to get in there and get started. MTTs, sit and goes, ring games, we got it all. As Negreanu gets another good one here. Ace, Jack, 8-7, double suited once again. On the button, pot size raised, 9-8-7 deuce there for Chen. I feel like Chen's starting to feel like, can I get some better cards over here? Like, this is just, you know, I mean, it's heads up, so I got to kind of call, but it's also, you know, it's not really fun.
Right, exactly. And when you look down at this hand, you think you'd have a bunch of live cards, but Daniel is just dominating a lot of the holding that Chen does have here. Both players with the 8 on the flop.
King 8-3 rainbow. Negreanu's 8, much better than Chen's. Chen checks, Daniel checks back. 6 of spades on the turn. Negreanu still out in front here, but Chen does have decent equity with the 9-7 for an open-ended straight draw as well.
I think Daniel is pretty incentivized here to check it back and get to showdown with his pair of 8s.
Ace of hearts on the river. Negreanu gets 2 pair, aces and 8s.
Pretty
Chen
clear
checks.
value bet from Daniel here.
1.5.
Goes big.
1.5 from Negreanu, and that prompts a fold out of James Chen. And once again, Daniel is up over 15 million. Chen getting further and further in the rearview mirror on 4.4 million.
And they just increased the blinds. We're at 400,000 big blind now. Chen with 11 big blinds left. Not too difficult to get that in the game of Pot Limit Omaha.
As a reminder, we have more PLO action streaming later today on PokerGo. A special edition PLO Mix cash game. Remco Rinkema will be on the call for that one. I believe we'll get a little appearance in the commentary booth from Joey Ingram. So if PLO is your jam, be sure to tune in to that stream later today on PokerGo. Tomorrow, we'll be back with another final table from event number 4. I'll be on the call, joined by Kevin Gerhart once again. Chen here, 1.2 million on the button, Queen 10-6-5. Negreanu calls Ace 8-8-6 from the big blind, 2.8 million out there. Chen is not that deep, 3.2 million behind. Queen 10-7. Chen flops top 2. Daniel checks.
Chen pretty incentivized to go big here. There's a lot of hands that we can get called by and try to push our equity.
800K is the bet. Quick fold out of Daniel. So Chen stops the bleeding a little bit there, back up to 6 million. Getting closer to a 2-to-1 chip deficit for him. Players guaranteed $115,000 up top, just shy of $183,000. Chen is at his 3rd consecutive final table to open this PGT PLO series. Negreanu going for his 11th PGT title.
Really monstrous hand for Negreanu on the button. We'll see a pot size open.
Yeah, beautiful to find the ace, king, king, deuce suited to the ace. And queens for Chen. Does have 1 suit as well. Does he want to just try and get this money in pre and run it?
3.6.
Yeah, it's,
there is the re-raise, 3.6.
Definitely a hand we are very happy to go with off of 15 big blinds.
And Daniel fires back with a pot-sized re-raise. Chen calls all in, and here we go. Will this be the one to seal the 11th PGT title for Daniel Negreanu, or will James Chen find another double up? Chen, 37% to stay alive. Negreanu, 63% to win it all.
Just give us a sweat. Just 2 diamonds. There's always a sweat.
Daniel Negreanu on the verge. Here comes the flop. Ace, 9, 6 with a couple of hearts. Turn card is the king of spades, and that is going to do it. Daniel Negreanu wins his 11th career PGT title and takes home $182,850. Kid Poker victorious once again.
Folded king 9, queen 10.
James Chen, a 3rd consecutive final table at this series, $115,000 for him.
Yeah.
What a final table it was.
With the best hand.
We'll be back tomorrow with the event number 4 final table. There you see the final results presented by playpokergo.com. Daniel Negreanu up on top. 11th career PGT title, $182,850 for him. James Chen, 2nd place, $115K. There's a look at that event number 4 field, and here's a look at the upcoming streaming schedule from the PGT PLO series. My name is Donnie Peters, Kevin Gerhart alongside of me, and we will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. See you then.